In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create an e-commerce website. You can create this website that I'm showing you for completely free. Try it out and see what you think. In the tutorial, everything that I'll show you mostly will be using free tools that you can sign up to with no cost. Here's another example of a page that we'll tweak as we go through. And on the right hand side, you'll see that there's the option to have live chat, where the customer can use it to ask a question of the site owner or customer service. As we go down the page, you'll see a product that was created in the tutorial that we can click on. And we can add it to the cart. We can view the cart. We can put a discount code in that we'll create in the tutorial. It'll automatically apply shipping and tax based on how we've configured it in the tutorial. We can proceed to the checkout. Once the customer's entered the details, they can pay because we set up payment. So they can take, for example, the test card number, enter the details, place an order, and the order's processed. Emails will then be sent to the site owner and the customer showing what's been ordered. Throughout the tutorial, there'll be links in the description of the video for all the things that I mentioned. So to get started in building an e-commerce website, the first thing you need is hosting. If you think about building a house, you need land to be able to build a house. To be able to build a website, you need hosting to be able to put that website on the internet. So I'm going to show you my favorite host. So if you head over to builderwebs.com/cloudwares. So in the description, you'll see a link that you can click on that will take you to, but that's builderwebs.com/cloudwares. It'll then take you to this page. And then what you need to do is just scroll down to the bottom. And I'm going to show you the benefits of using it. So I use Cloudwares because it's super fast. I moved over from other hosts trying to find a host where the speed of the pages is super fast, and ultimately it helps with ranking on Google by having a fast website. So you can see that it's lightning fast. I also like to use Cloudwares because it's super secure. So they have all types of protection and firewalls in place to protect your website so it doesn't get hacked. The support's absolutely brilliant. If you ever do need to get in touch, you get an expert on the other side and they help you get anything sorted in no time at all. Feel free to explore this page and have a look at the other benefits and look at different reviews from people. But ultimately, it comes down to the plans. So with Cloudwares, you can choose from different companies such as Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud, really reputable companies, and you can host your website through them using Cloudwares. So if you just click on the standard option, you can see that for $10 a month, you can start hosting a website. To follow along with this tutorial, you can start for completely free, and you can build the website. As long as you do it within the free trial, within 3 days, you can try everything out for free. So I mentioned underneath all the different benefits, such as free SSL to help secure your website, 24/7 support, you can host unlimited websites, you can do automated backups so you don't lose anything on your website, and the list goes on and on. You can choose from any of these hosts, like I said before, and ultimately you can choose standard or premium. So I'm going to start on the cheapest option, but ultimately with Cloudways, on the different providers, you can scale up. So when your business grows, you don't have to go through a load of carry on. It just works naturally. So I'm going to click on Start Free, and then I'm going to sign up. So to sign up, enter your first name, last name, email, passwords, and answer these questions, and then I'll provide you a discount code, and then we'll sign up. So now that you've filled out all this information, I'll now provide you with a promo code, which is build a webs, all in capitals, and that'll give you 10% off for 3 months once you've started paying. So again, that's capital build a webs. Once you've read the terms and conditions, you can click Start Free, and then we'll start building the website. You'll then land on this page here. Just close this down, but you can have a read through. It just reminds you of all the different options you get, all the benefits. So ultimately we'll land on here. So now we're going to name our application. So I'm just going to call it Ecom website, and then we're going to call this Ecom server. And then you get a second choice to choose which host you want to use. So I'm going to choose DigitalOcean. I use that on my website. And just to keep the price down, I'm going to choose the 1 GB one, but you can use whichever one you use, and you can use the different hosting platforms, whether it be Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud. And then the next thing to do is choose a location. So I'm based in the UK, so I'm going to choose London to host my website as the data center, but you can choose from all sorts of places around the world, which helps aid website speed. So choose your host, choose your server size, and then choose your location. And then all you need to do is click on Launch Now. And just close that down. And then it says it'll take 7 minutes to build the server and add the application in. So feel free to just pause this for now while yours is getting set up. So that's the server all set up. As you can see at the top, you've got 3 days to build the website, play about with it, do everything you need, and it won't cost you a penny without any credit card. So let's have a play about in Cloudways. So first thing you want to do is click on here where it says Ecom server, and it'll basically advise some information. So that's the IP address for your server. You can also, when you see at the top, you can click in applications. And as you can see, here's our Ecom website application. You can create as many applications on the server as you want. And this is our WordPress website. So all you need to do is click on here, and I'll just close this. And if you click on here, for example, you can see the website. As you can see, it's very, very basic because we're going to import a template and we're going to tweak it and we're going to build it. So we'll just close that one down. So to be able to go in as an admin, you can use this here. So just click on here to copy, and then click on this little option here, and then paste the email address in, and then go back to Cloudways, and then take the password by clicking on it in this admin panel option, and then paste it in, and then we can log into the website. So we're now logged into WordPress. To be able to go into the settings in WordPress, you basically go here and click on settings, and it'll take you in to here. Later on in the tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can change the site title and the tagline in another place to be able to optimize for SEO. What we're going to do, we're just going to scroll down, and you can see that you can change the language, you can change the time zone. So I'll have a play about with this. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And you can change the date format, the time format. So have a play about and see what works best for you. Again, on here, you can actually choose a city. So when you go up, you can scroll where's closest to you. And then you can choose what time, what day of the week starts on. So I'm just going to click Save Changes. And you can change these settings at any point. And we're going to go into permalinks. And this is an important thing to do. So for search engine optimization, SEO, you're basically best off changing this to post name because it reads a lot better instead of all sorts of numbers, and it's better for the user to be able to see what it is. So click Save Changes, and then we're going to choose a theme. So we'll cover that next. So if we go back to the dashboard by clicking on Dashboard, we can then hover over Appearance at the side, and we can choose a theme. So if you click on Themes, and then what you'll want to do is click on Add New. And we're going to add Blocksy in. So it's just spelled like that. Search in the top right. Once it appears, all you need to do is click on Install. Once installed, you activate it. Now we've got Blocksy installed, we're going to install a template which basically helps build most of the website for us, and then we can basically tweak it. So to do that, you basically go down and you click on Install Blocksy Companion. You can then click on Start a Website, and we're basically going to scroll down and we're going to find the one that's the gadgets one. And we're going to choose to import it. So click on Import. Choose Next. Choose Gutenberg, because we're going to build it in the page builder Gutenberg. And then make sure all these options are ticked, apart from this one. And then we're going to click on Install. Make sure all these are ticked. Click Install. And this only usually takes a couple of minutes, so I'm just going to wind it ahead, so feel free to pause. So you can now see that the starter site imported successfully. We're just going to click on View Site. And here's the website. So you can see it's a very nice looking website. We're basically going to customize it throughout this video and add other features such as payment processing. For some reason it seems to have duplicated the menu pages, but that's a really quick tweak which I'll show you next. But as you go through the pages, you can basically see how nice the design is, which we'll tweak as we go. and make it your own. So yeah, I'll show you how you can use different parts of WordPress next. So let's head back into WordPress and let's have a look at the different features. So to head back in, click on the W in the top left here. And then we're basically going to work our way down this menu. So first of all, click on Posts. You can see the different posts. So these are all blog posts. So you can basically click on them to go and see them. This is one that's created by WordPress that's not needed for us. If we go back, we're going to delete this one. So we're just going to put that in the trash. That's no longer needed. You can create a new post by click Add New, but I'm not going to get into that right now. So then we're going to go to Media. This is how you upload images, video, audio. Again, you can do it by clicking Add New. Go to Pages. And it works a similar sort of way where you can send one to the trash if you want. You've got comments, we won't cover that now. And then you've got the WooCommerce section, which I'll cover in a little bit. But then you've got appearance, and then you've got themes. So this is where you can install, activate, deactivate themes. You can see Blocks is the one that we activated earlier. If we go down on the left hand side here, you've got things like widgets, which I'll cover later, and then we've got menus. So as we saw before, when we were looking at the website, we could see that these were duplicated. Let's fix that now. So if we go down to here, we can basically choose to bulk select, and we can get rid of home, the duplicate of products, the duplicate of about us, same with blog, and same with contact us. And then all you do is click remove selected items, and you can save the menu. And then when we head back over to here and we refresh the page, you can see it looks a lot more smarter. You can also add things on from the left hand side here, but it's one of those screens that's quite easy to work out, so I won't go into any more detail on that. You've got plugins. So plugins adds functionality to the website. By default, quite a few get installed. If you want to delete one, you can just click delete there. You can also bulk select and choose an action from there. I'm going to delete this one as well. And you can see the different options we have installed. I won't be using this one, so we can deactivate this one. And then we can scroll down and we can delete it and then choose OK. And these are the different plugins that we use to extend the functionality of the website. The WooCommerce one at the bottom, that'll form a major part of this video, which allows a WordPress website to have a store. And we'll use stackable Gutenberg blocks to help tweak and build the website. And then you've got a few other options down the sides. You've got users, where you can add different users in, but we don't need to cover that. You've got tools, and you've got the settings, which you can play about with different things in there. I'm now going to show you where you can find the cheapest domain name possible. Basically, Cloudflare, they don't take a cut on domain names. So essentially, you just pay the price from the register. If you've already got a domain name, you can go to the next timestamp and I'll show you how you can map it in Cloudways to join the domain and the hosting. So you might be asking, what is a domain name? If you head over to this page, it's a link in the description, it explains exactly what it is. So it says a domain name is a unique, easy to remember address used to access websites, such as google.com, facebook.com. So if you're creating your website, it'll be something.com or .co.uk or whatever it might be. Essentially, what you've got is, you've got the name and you've got an IP address, and basically DNS connects the two together to make it human friendly. So instead of having to type 192.0. such and such to try and find a website, you can just go to google.com. But don't get caught up on all this. I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. So if we go back over to here. So what you want to do is click on register now. And then choose sign up. Put an email address in. And a password. And then click create account. I'd recommend first of all going and verifying your account and email address. To register a new domain, you can basically go under domain registration and click on register domains. And then you can search for the domain you want, so basically what you want the domain to be for your website. So this is, for me, it's going to be builderwebs gadgets.com, and we'll click search, and it says that that's available. So again, you can find the cheapest domain names possible, but it also gives you other suggestions of what you can take, so you can go for any of these. I'm just going to go for builderwebgadgets.com. I'm going to click on purchase, and I'm just going to sign up for 1 year for the sake of the tutorial, and then it just asks for this information here. So fill out all the information and pay, and you'll get it for the cheapest price possible for the year. So feel free to pause it here and I'll see you in a little bit. So after putting the information in, paying for it and submitting, you basically have a domain name all sorted. So the next step will be linking the domain name in Cloudflare to Cloudways. So I'll show you how to do that next. So to map the domain between Cloudflare and Cloudways and link them, you'll want to click on Manage Domain. If, for example, your domain name is registered in another site, I'll include articles in the description which will help follow for sites like Namecheap, GoDaddy, etc. But for those who've just created the domain, click on Manage Domain here. So click on Update DNS Configuration. And then we're basically going to add 2 A records in. For sites like GoDaddy and Namecheap, places like that, you can find articles online to how to be able to add the A records in. I'll try and include some in the description. So first thing to do is click on Add Record. and then we're going to choose an A record, and we're going to put the @ We're going to go into Cloudways, and we're going to click on servers, click on the server, and we're going to click to copy this public IP address, and we're going to paste it in. We're going to untick this, and we're going to hit save. We're then going to create another A record, so choose A from there. I'm going to type www, and then we're going to take the IP address from, again, servers, click on the server, click to copy, and we're going to paste it in here. Again, this is an A record for those who are doing it on Namecheap or GoDaddy. You can find an article how to create A records. So yeah, make sure that is unticked and click save. And that's the two registered. So in terms of this, they need to be propagated on the internet. But say, for example, you go to what's my DNS, and you click on this, what's my DNS.net. You can look for the website, for the domain name that you've created, and you can see where it's propagated on. Some places it takes 24 hours to roll out, but you can see there's a lot of ticks against these. So it depends on the speed of things, but you can see most of them have propagated pretty quickly. So the next thing you do is you basically add these domain names into Cloudways. So if we go into Cloudways and we go into the application, we click on the Ecom website. We can then go into domain management, and we can add the domain names into here. So to add a domain name, you just click on add domain, and we'll basically take our domain name and add it into here. So I'm going to start with the www and make that the primary. So whatever yours is, add it in. And then once you've got it there, click on add domain. And this is important to make sure that you do, but basically you need to click on these three dots next to it and make it the primary domain. Choose set as primary. It's just updating now. Doesn't take very long. And you'll see it'll change from WordPress 923.cloudwaysapps.com, and it'll make builderwebsgadgets.com the primary domain. And there you go. And I'm going to add the other one in. So I'll just add BAW gadgets.com in. Click on add domain. And that can just be another alias. And we'll just leave it as that. So basically, before it was WordPress, that site, which you can remember seeing on there. And now it's builderwebgadgets.com. Yours will be whatever you called it, .com, .co.uk. So if we I'll just close some tabs down just to make things a little bit more tidier. There we go. And then we'll go in applications and I'll open it back up. So we'll head to the site. We'll just open it on this one. You'll get met with this message because we need to add an SSL certificate in, which is something we'll do. And very simple to do. Click on Advanced and go to the site. And here it is. Here's the website, www.builderwebgadgets.com. So you'll see that it's not secure, so we'll now add SSL in. So we'll go back into here, and then all you do is go into SSL certificate. So leave this option as it is, let's encrypt. And then what you need to do, you need to add an email address in. And add the domain names in. So I'm going to add that one and this one. So whether the search for www. Or that one, it has an SL certificate installed on both, so then choose install certificate. And as it says up in the top there, it's successfully installed. So then if we look at how it was before, where we had it like this, where it said it wasn't secure, there was no SSL certificate installed. So then if we head to a new tab and we go on here, you can see that the certificate's now installed. So it's a lot better for search engine optimization. It's a requirement by Google, so it's a good thing to have, and it makes the website look a lot more professional. Now that we've created the website, we've linked the domain, we've got an SSL certificate, we've got content on the site which can be tweaked and made your own, I think it's a good idea to show another feature of Cloudways where we back up the website. So you can back up the website by going to Applications here, clicking on the website, and just going down to Backup and Restore. And you can just take a backup whenever you want. So if you click on Take Backup Now, so that's the backup taken, and on the left hand side you can restore from that date and time there. You can also schedule backups on the server side. So if you go to servers and then you click on the server, you go to backups. In here you can of course take a manual backup of the server, but on the left hand side you can also schedule. So you can choose, for example, once a day at a certain time. So you could say once a day at 1:30 in the morning. Or if you change it to 6 hours, you can say you want to back up every 6 hours of every day, and it retains it for a week. And of course you can play about with the different options. You can change the retention up to 4 weeks that you want it to keep. And once you're happy with it, you can save it. But I'm just going to do it once a day at 1:30 for now. Choose Save Changes. And that's backups. So you'll now be able to restore your website as you go in case you lose anything. And of course, you can always come back and change these things. So now we're going to head into WooCommerce in WordPress and we're going to start configuring the store. So if you head back into WordPress and just click on the dashboard, you'll end up on this page, and then go to WooCommerce and we're going to go to settings. So just hover over WooCommerce, then click on settings, and we're going to fill these address lines in, the city of where your store is located, postcode, etc., and then I'll cover these options. So fill in this section here, and then I'll meet you back and we'll cover this section below. So now you can see that I've entered the store's address and the location information. Make sure you've done that. And then we're going to cover the general options now. So in this tutorial, the selling location is going to be the US and Canada. So I'm going to just say sell to specific countries, but you can choose whatever you want. You can sell to all countries, sell to all countries except for ... So it could be all countries except for, let's say, Mexico or anywhere else. And then sell to specific countries. So we're going to pick this. And we're going to choose the United States, and we're going to choose Canada. And then you've got the option shipping locations, ship to all countries you sell to, ship to all countries. For this example, it makes sense to ship to all the countries we're going to sell to, which is Canada and the United States. You can choose to have a default customer location, so you can do it based on the shop country region. You can do it based on geolocation, where the customer's base. I'm going to put no location by default and have it based on the customer filling that information in. So enable tax rates and calculations. I'm going to cover that later when I show you how to set up taxes. Enable the use of coupon codes. Again, I'll show you that later. And then below, you've got things such as the currency. So choose the currency you want your prices to be shown on in the front end. And have a play about whether you want the currency on the left, right, left with a space. I like it on the left. And then you can have a play with the different settings. So if you save the changes, that's the very basic sort of general settings. And I'm going to go through different settings for shipping, tax, payments, for etc. coming up. So we're now going to look at how to create products. We're first of all going to look at how you create a simple product. So within the settings page in WooCommerce, so WooCommerce and then settings, there's a products tab. And here you can change different things. You can change what you want your shop page to be called. So you could change that if you really wanted to a different page on the website. You can change different settings, but we won't get into those. You can change what the measurements would be on your website, whether you want it in kilos, pounds, however you want. You can choose to enable product reviews or disable them by doing the tick. And you can play about with different settings. Feel free to have a play about with those. I'm not going to go into massive detail, so I'll just save the changes there. So to create a simple product, you want to go to the product section. So it's on the left hand side here. So just click products, and you'll see all the products that have already been imported into this website when we did we imported the template. So to create a simple product, you can click on Add New. And then you want to give it a name. So we're basically just going to copy one of the products that was already created. So if you hover over products and you just right click and open it in a new tab, we're basically going to replicate the watch. So if you just click on it here, so we'll take the title of it and we'll copy it. And of course you can create your own products later on, just following this, but give it different names and descriptions, but I just want to teach you how to create the products. You'll then want a product description. So I'm just going to take the text from here, just this dummy text. But what you want to do with your description is, you want to write as much detail about the product as possible. Have a look on sites like Amazon and different places and see how product descriptions are written. So I'll just paste this in, but make sure to include as many keywords about the product as possible. I will be doing tutorials in the future, so please subscribe to see how you can optimize your SEO when creating products. The next thing you want to do is add a product image in. So all you do is click Set Product Image. You can choose from the media library. You can upload files. So if you choose from the media library, we're just going to pick a picture that was already uploaded of the watch. So we'll just pick this one. And that's similar to the one that was there. And then, of course, you can remove it. You can also add a product gallery, so you can show it at different angles. And then you've got product categories. So we're gonna assign this to gadgets, but we'll also create a category, for example, that could be watches. So you just type in that box, and then you click Add New Category. And this product will be grouped into the categories of watches and gadgets, and when people click on that category, this product will display. You've got product tags, so product tag could be Apple, and then you separate with a comma. It could be Apple Watch, it could just be watch, and then you add these in. So tags help search engines find the product by displaying these keywords on the page. And you can also click on tags to go to this particular product. So all you do is click Add, and they'll display it, and I'll show you what it looks like next. You'll want to add a short description, so a more concise description of this description up here. Again, with keywords in. For the tutorial, I'm just going to copy this, but again, this is something I'm going to be showing in videos of how you can optimize these descriptions. So we'll just paste that in, and then what we're going to do, we're going to come up to this section. We're creating a simple product, so we'll choose simple product from this list, but next I'll be showing you a variable product. So choose simple product. You can choose whether the product's virtual, you can choose whether it's downloadable like a digital product, and you want to set a price. So the price is $249. If you want to set a sales price, for example, you could put $200. You can just leave it like that, or you can schedule a sales price and choose the dates between the sale. I'm going to take it out because I'm not offering a sale on this product. You've then got inventory, where you can put a product SKU where you can link similar products. You can choose to manage stock, and you can say how much stock's in. You can choose whether you want to allow back orders. I'm not going to have a stock level on this. You can choose whether it's sold individually. We won't cover that in this tutorial. So then you've got shipping, and you can choose to put a weight in. So you could say that this watch has got a weight of, let's say, 1 kilogram, and you can choose to put your length in. I'm just going to put some made up figures, so I'm going to say 5 centimeters by 6 centimeters by 2 centimeters. I don't know what the dimensions are, but you'll see the idea of this. You've then got shipping classes. We won't cover this in this tutorial, but I'm going to be putting some more shipping videos together, so please have a look. You then got linked products, so you've got upsells. So as it sounds, you can sell more of your products, sell more to the customer by offering an upsell, which these features appear below the product, so you can add more in. So for example, an upsell for this could be the AirPods, and a cross sell could be an Xbox. You could try and sell an Xbox. And then you've got attributes, but I'll show you them in the next part of the video. So then finally, it's time to publish the product. If you wanted to save the product at any point, you can click Save. You can also preview the product by clicking Preview. I'd recommend opening a new tab. So then you can publish a product. So you could choose, for example, tomorrow, and then choose OK. On there, you could have picked a particular time. So that's gone for 13:20. You could have gone for 14:20, choose OK. You just hit schedule and the product will go live tomorrow. If you just want it to go live today, for example, just set that back, and then you can just choose to publish it at, for example, 13:20 today. So if you hit publish, the product's then live and you can view the product. So there's the title we added in. There's the price of $249. Here's the description. There's the ability to add it into the cart. And then there's your categories and there's your tags. Like I was saying before, you can click on each of these and you can go and see the rest of the gadgets. You can go and see other products that have a tag of, for example, Apple. And here's the upsell you may also like. And then you've got an option of related products below. If you wanted to see the weight and the dimensions, it just holds it in there. And then there again, there's the upsell. And if any reviews are stored, it's just on there. Next, I'll show you how to create a variable product. Please follow along. So I'm now going to show you how you can create a variable product. So I'm going to close this first product tab down, and then on this screen I'm going to head back into WordPress. So I'm going to click on products, and the variable products I'm going to create is going to be the Xbox Series X. So I'm just going to click on Xbox Series X, and then I'm going to open a new tab over this Add New Product. And I'm going to take the name, and I'm going to paste it in here, and I'm going to go back to the product, and I'm going to copy the description of the product. So again, you want to write as detailed a description about the product as possible, but again, I'm just creating this to show you how to create the products. And in future videos, I will be showing you how to write this so you can optimize it for SEO, but make sure to include as many keywords about the product as possible. So yep, I'll just paste it into there, and then we're going to add a product image. So you just click on Set Product Image, You can choose to upload files, or you can go for the media library. So I'm just going to pick an image that's already exists, which is the Xbox. I'm going to choose set product image. You can choose to remove it by clicking there. You can add other pictures by clicking on this link. I'm going to assign it a category of gaming, and we'll also choose gadgets, and then we'll choose to add some tags in. Xbox Series X, and then that's enough for now. And then we're going to take the product short description from below here, and we're going to paste it in. So again, make sure you write a more concise description of what was included up there, and include as many keywords about the product as possible. So then, up in this section, because we're creating a variable product, we're going to choose variable product. So you can choose to add a SKU in, you can choose to manage stock. We're not going to do that in this example. You've then got the shipping tab, where you can add dimensions in. I showed you what that looked like before in the previous one where we created a simple product, so I won't cover this here. You can choose to put in upsells, so for example, an upsell could be some headphones. And a cross-sell, for example, could be a phone. You've then got attributes, so you can add different attributes in. So if you imagine an Xbox, you could have different models, and you could have different storage sort of capacities. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the attributes. So if you see on the left-hand side here, there's an option for attributes. If you right-click on it and open it in a new tab, we're going to create these attributes. So you can create an attribute. So we're going to call this one model. And then all we do is click on add attribute. And it creates it there. We'll click on model. And we'll look to add the different types of models. So we're going to say that there's a standard model. And we're going to say that there's a limited edition. Click add new model. So then we'll click on attributes again, and you can see that there's model where there's limited edition and standard. We'll click on that again, click on model, and we'll just rearrange them. So you can rearrange them by just dragging it up, and you see how standard goes to the top. We'll then click on attributes again, and we'll create a new attribute, and we'll call it size. We'll then save by clicking add attribute. And then on size, we'll just click on it. And we're going to choose to add 1 terabyte. Click on add new size. And then we'll choose to add 2 terabyte of storage. And we'll rearrange these by dragging them up. And then we'll go back into the product. So let's go up towards the top, and let's just save this product by clicking Save Draft. So this will refresh the product, and what we should see underneath under Attributes, we should be able to add the model in by clicking add, and we should be able to add the size in by clicking add. So you can see how you've got model there and size there. By clicking select all, you provide all the different options, and we're going to create variations of these options, which I'll explain next, by clicking use for variations. So make sure that's clicked, and the same for the bottom one, and make sure everything's included. So we're going to click on save attributes, and again you can rearrange these if you want size to come first, model to come first, by just doing it like that. I don't mind which order it's in. So then you go down to the variations tab and you click here, add variation, and then you go create variations from all attributes. So when we click go and we choose OK, we'll see that we have a standard edition of 1 terabyte, a standard edition of 2 terabyte, and you can see how it goes on, so you don't have to physically create all these different products. It says here, for variations do not have prices. So basically, you can add the prices in and then they'll be shown on the star. But you can see with creating these different type of attributes, if you add products of different colours, for example, you could create an attribute and you could have these in all sorts of different colours. So I'll show you how you can add the prices in bulk. So if you go on this option here, where it says add variation, you can choose to set regular prices. So if you then click go, you could say all of them are $429, but we know that that isn't that much use because there's different models and there's different storages, so there should be different prices. So if you go on the first one, you can leave that as $429, and you can change all these different types of settings, if they're different weights, put different types of description in, whether it's in stock, out of stock. You can choose whether it's downloadable. What we're going to do, we're just going to add a picture in, but this could be a different picture for each model, but we're just going to add the same picture just because they're already uploaded. So as we go through, we'll just update these, and then we can just close that down, and we'll do the same for this one. But for this, for example, we'll up the price to $499. We'll upload the image, so we'll choose the Xbox again. Click this to close it down. We'll say this one's $549. We'll choose our image, set variation image. We'll close that one down, and we'll do our final one. We'll set this one at $599. Choose our image, and then we'll close it down. And then we'll click Save Changes, and that's the products are all saved. Again, you can use this to change all different types of things, to have a blurb about it, but if all the prices and dimensions are different, you'll have to go into each one and change them. So we'll now have a look again how we schedule and publish. Like I said in the previous example, you can always save your draft and preview it up there. But then you've also got the option to schedule it by clicking at the edit there and choosing the date and time. I won't do that now. And then finally, you can publish the product when it's ready. So you just click publish, and then you can view the product and see what it looks like. So you can see underneath So you can see there's the title, there's the price, it shows a range between them. You can choose an option, 1 terabyte, you can choose whether you wanted the standard edition, and it'll show the price. And then when you choose 2 terabyte, for example, it goes up. You got a limited edition, it goes up, and then the products can be added to the cart, and you can see the different categories and tags. There's the description. You can see things like the size and bits like that. You can see the upsell and different related products. If we go back into products, just click on products. When it comes to putting your own products on the store and you don't want to keep these, you can delete these by clicking the trash. You can also select them all and you can move them to the trash just for your information. There's different ways you can filter on this screen and things like that, but that's all I'll cover for now. So we'll just go back to the dashboard. We're now going to look at how you set up shipping. So the first thing you want to do is head over to WooCommerce, just hover over that and choose settings. Then you want to click on shipping. The first thing you do is create shipping zones. So click on add shipping zone. And then we're just going to call this one United States. And then you've got zone regions. So we're just going to type United States in here. You can also limit it to postal codes if you want, but we're not going to cover that in this tutorial. So then click on add shipping method. And we're going to choose flat rate. And click on add shipping method. So then we're going to click on shipping zones once you scroll up. And we're going to create another shipping zone. And we're going to call this one Canada. And we're just going to choose Canada there. We're going to click on add shipping method, and we're going to choose flat rate. So then if we go to shipping zones, we've got a shipping zone for the United States and we've got one for Canada. There's also another section here for locations not covered by our other zones. So for whatever reason, if the shipping didn't pick up those two, it would be a good idea to have another section here set up so you can click on it and you can add a flat rate into it. So if we click back on shipping zones, we'll go through each one and we'll add some rates in. So if we click on the United States and then we just click on flat rate, we can say what this is called, so you can rename it. So I'm just going to leave it as flat rate. You can choose whether it's taxable or non-taxable. I'm going to choose none. And for example, you could say that shipping costs $10. But if somebody orders a lot of items, the shipping's going to cost a lot more. So ultimately, you want to really have it based on a percentage. So I've got these options here. You can also compose different ones. So I'm just going to take this. These are in the description of the video if you want to copy them. So it's just going to take 10% of the overall cart. You can change this round. So if you put it like this, it takes 10% of the cart. But if somebody doesn't spend much, it has to be shipped a long way. It's not that great, but you can save changes But I opt for this one, so it'd be like $10 plus 10% of the cart. So we'll use this one throughout. Just make sure that's 10. Again, this is in the description of the video. So you can click Save Changes. And we'll basically just duplicate that for the different zones and just change the fee. So let's say Canada. Let's say it's a little bit more. So let's say it's $20 plus 15% and click Save Changes. Again, you can just put a flat rate of whatever you want, and in the other section in here, just click on it. Just click on flat rate, make that one non-taxable, and I'll just say that's 20 plus 15% again. Click on Save Changes, and then if we go back to the shipping zones, I'll just make sure that Canada was non-taxable in the shipping. It wasn't, so just change that one. So then if we click on shipping zones, we can see these three are set up. If, for example, you wanted to set up free shipping, for example, so you could go on the United States, for example, you can add other shipping methods in, so you could choose free shipping, and you could say free shipping when it's based on a minimum amount. So you could say if somebody spent $100, for example, it's free shipping. I'm not going to add that one in, but also, so I'll just delete that one. You can delete them by clicking on them like that. You can also choose to put local pickup in based on different types of locations, but I'm not going to cover that one right now. So we'll just go back to the dashboard. Actually, click cancel. Make sure you've saved first. So then we'll click on the dashboard. And next, we're going to cover tax. So I'm now going to show you how you can enable taxes on your WooCommerce store. So the first thing to do is hover over WooCommerce and then go to Settings. And then what you want to do is scroll down and enable tax rates and calculations, and then Save Changes. You'll then see that a tax tab becomes available. Click on it. You'll have two options at the top. You've got Yes, I will enter prices inclusive of tax, or No, I will enter prices exclusive tax. So this is when you're creating products. You can choose whether the price you enter when you're creating the product is inclusive of tax or it's exclusive. If you're in America, for example, you usually say no, so choose which one's best for you. One thing to state is, as it says here, this option is important as it will affect how you will input prices. Changing it will not update existing products. If we scroll down, you've got different options here which you might want to speak to an accountant about, whether it's calculating tax based on the customer shipping address, the customer billing address, the shop address. You've got a couple of important parts here, whether you choose to include tax in the price or not. You can choose to include or exclude in the shop and in the cart and the checkout. If we just click Save Changes, now that's saved, you can, if you want to, change any of this information later on. So as you go through the tutorial, you can change it. Here you can create extra tax rates, as you can see up there, where you've got standard rates, reduced rate, zero rates. It'll create another column if you enter another line in here. We'll now click on standard rates. I'll just choose leave. You basically get a table available. So then you can just click on insert row. So I live in the United Kingdom, so if I wanted to find the tax rate for the United Kingdom, which there's only one, you can click on country code here. It just takes you into Wikipedia and you can find what it'll be. So I'm GB, so if I go back into here and I just put GB, I can then state the tax rate, which is at 20%, and you can choose whether you want tax on shipping. I'm going to turn it off and click on Save Changes, and then a tax rate of 20% is applied to all products that are standard rated. If, for example, you're in the US, I'm just going to remove this. You can insert a new row and you can just put the US, and different states have different taxes, so you could enter one for California, for example, and you can put the rate percentage. There's a lot of information online to do with tax codes, but again, I would speak to your accountant about the different tax rates, and once you have them all where you'll possibly be selling to, you can choose to import them. So I'm just going to just take this off and just show you how it could possibly work. So I'm just going to put 10% in for there, and then we'll put Canada in as well. So if we just go back to the Wikipedia page, go up to Canada. So Canada's just CA. So I'll just CA in as well. And I'll just put them at 20%. And on both of these, I'll say there's no tax on shipping, but you want to speak to your accountant about that. Again, I'm not a tax professional, so I can't advise you on this, but I'm just showing you how you can set this up. So then if you click Save Changes, and these tax rates will apply. Again, you can put reduced rates in on here, and you can also add zero rate taxing in. One thing to state is that there is the option to use a plugin called TaxJar, which is free to download and install, but there is fees involved on it, and it automates basically the sales tax and does tax calculations for you and the filing for your WooCommerce store. So really it's a really helpful tool because you don't have to worry about the tax side, it looks after it for you. So it's a really good tool. There's a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. If we go back into WordPress, I'll be covering discount codes next. And once we've created the discount code, I'll show you it all in the store where we'll go to buy a product and we will see how the shipping, the tax and the discount code all works together with what we set up. So yeah, let's create a discount code next. We'll just go back to the dashboard and I'll see you soon. To set up a discount code, what you need to do is go into the WooCommerce section and under marketing, choose coupons. And what you can do is you can click on add coupon and you can choose what it will be called. You can also generate a coupon. I'm just going to create my own, so I'm just going to call it Gadget 10. And Gadget 10 gets 10% off. You can choose to have a fixed cart discount, so you could just offer, for example, $10 off, or you can choose to have a percentage discount, or you can have a fixed product discount. So I'm just going to choose percentage discount of 10%. There's an option to allow free shipping, and you can put an expiry date on the coupon itself. There's usage restrictions. So for example, you can have a minimum spend. There'd have to be a minimum spend. So you could say there'd have to be a minimum spend of $10, say. And you can put a maximum spend. You can put individual use only. So check this box if the coupon cannot be used in conjunction with other coupons. So that's probably a good idea to tick that, but you can put it to however you want. And you can choose what products it can be used on, what's excluded on, categories and so on. So feel free to have a play about with that. I'm not going to cover that in this tutorial. And you've got different types of usage limits. So when you're ready, you can just publish it. And the coupon's ready to be used. So I'm now going to showcase you buying a product and showing the tax being calculated on it, the shipping, and we'll show the discount code. So if we just take a copy of this, and we'll use this when we apply the coupon. Later on in the video, I'll show you how you can add live chat to your website, so the person can speak to, the customer can speak to the owner of the shop, and they can also speak to bots and things like that. And one of the things, it includes a discount in there. So please keep following along. So we've taken a copy of that and we're going to try it out. So just click on this here, then go to products. And we created this product before. I can tell that by the number of categories. So if we click on this here, on this product, and we add it to the cart, we view the cart, we can then apply the discount coupon code here. So just paste it in. You can also just type gadget 10, and you'll see that the coupon is applied. It takes $22 off because it was 10%. You've got flat rate shipping to Canada. You can also, so if we change the address and we say shipping to the United States and we update, you'll see that it goes to 30.37. I think we set the US as something like $10 plus 10%. And then I think Canada was something like $20 plus 15%. But you can see that it changes. So that's what I wanted to show you there. Next, we'll have a look at setting payment up in WooCommerce, so you can start taking payments on your store. You'll be able to test the payments out for completely free because there's a test option that you can use. And then we'll see how you can configure emails, so you can send emails to your customers with the receipt. And you can receive notifications to say you've had an order. So we'll cover that next. We're now going to look at how you can set up taking payments on your e-commerce website. So I use Stripe for it. So if you head over to this link, there's a link in the description that will take you to this page and you can sign up for it. There's also a link in the description that shows prices. Prices vary on depending on the country, but there's no setup costs to set up Stripe, and there's no cost in testing it out, so you can try this out, see if you like it, see if it works for your business, and try it out. So there's no setup fees, there's no monthly fees, there's no hidden fees. So they normally take a percentage of the cart plus a small little thing like 30 cents, but it changes based on the country. So in the UK, where I'm from, there's a different rate, but essentially head over to here and you can carry on. So the first thing you want to do is to create a Stripe account. So in this timestamp, I'll basically create the Stripe account, and in the next one, we'll link the Stripe account to WooCommerce. So sign up for it, and I'll see you in a little bit. You'll then land on this page, which then you'll want to go to your email and verify your account. So I'll just go in my email and verify the email address. It then takes you into here, and you can choose to activate payments on your account. We'll choose skip for now. And then that's us in. So we'll choose to activate the payments. And you basically fill in all this information, and then I'll see you at the end. So your Stripe account's now active. We're now going to connect it to WooCommerce. If you already had a Stripe account, just continue on now. So what you'll want to do, you'll want to head back into WordPress, go back to the admin section, and now we're going to install the Stripe plugin. So we'll go to plugins on the left hand side, click on add new. We'll go to the top right and we'll just search for Stripe. And it's this one here, WooCommerce Stripe Payment Gateway. So I'll click on install now. We'll now head into WooCommerce and then settings, and we'll click on payments. We'll scroll down, and what we're going to do is we're just going to enable this Stripe credit card, and it takes us in. Then we're going to connect our Stripe account to WooCommerce. This is an option clicking on this, but it doesn't always work as it should. This works every time by clicking enter account keys advanced. So we'll just click on that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the test ones first, and we'll do the live ones after. So what we need is the live publishable key. So what we'll do is we'll go back into Stripe, and make sure that you're in test mode. You can toggle to go test mode, non-test mode. Making sure we're in test mode by this being turned on, we're going to click on developers, then going to click on API keys, and we're just going to copy this publishable key. We're going to go back into WordPress and make sure we're in the test section here. I'm going to paste the publishable key in. We're then looking for the test secret key. So we'll go back over, reveal test secret key, click it to copy, go back into WordPress, and then we're going to paste it in. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this right up to this Stripe part here, copy it, and we're going to go into Stripe. We're looking for webhooks, and we're going to add an endpoint. We're going to paste the URL that we copied from here, this thing, into there. and we're going to create an event. So if we click on select events and we choose charge and we choose charge captured, don't worry about all the code and anything, does everything behind the scenes, so don't worry about that. And then you're just going to click on add events. And then you're going to click add endpoint. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on this here where it says sign in secret reveal. And we're going to take that and we're going to paste it in here. And we're going to save the test key. And it says now, you can now accept payments. So that's worked. You can always go down and go back in and edit the account keys if you ever need to change the test ones in the future, if you change your website domain, because if you're using this link and you change it in the future, you'll need to amend the, I'll show you in here, you'll need to amend the webhook. So what we're going to do is we're going to come out of test mode and we're going to set the live ones up. So if we just disable test mode and then we click on developers and then we click on API keys, we're going to copy this, we're going to go into WordPress, again, edit account keys, go on the live one, paste the publishable key in there, and we're going to take the live secret key from here, so reveal the key. So for security, it can only be revealed once. You'll have to create another one if you lose it. So reveal, and then we're going to copy this. We're going to go into here and we're going to paste it in. And then we're looking for the webhook secret. So we're taking this link again, going into Stripe. We'll just click done on here. We're going to webhooks, creating an endpoint, so add an endpoint. Paste the link that you copied from here in. Click on select event, choose charge, select charge captured, and click on add event. You'll then want to click add endpoint, and then here you'll want to click reveal, and you'll want to take a copy of this here, and paste it in the webhook secret. Then click Save Live Keys. And the account keys are saved. It's currently in test mode, so see where it says Enable Test Mode here? That's where you can use it forever, even if customers come on the store and try and buy things, it's in test mode. So you'll have to remember when the site's ready to be used, you'll have to disable this. But at any point where you need to put it in a test mode, it can be ticked. So I'll just show you a few settings down at the bottom. So you've got the ability to enable payments via save cards. People can save the cards on the store. You've got enable separate credit card form. You can have a play about with that. And you've got different ways that it can appear on the statement. So you've got this, for example, so you could say gadgets, you only get 10 characters, so it might be better off to leave the order off and just have it as that. And then you can save the changes. So what we're going to do next is we're going to set up email so that when we try out a test transaction that's completely free, won't cost you anything at all to do. You can try it out. We'll then see the email go out to the store owner and the customer. So let's do that next. I'll just go back to the dashboard and we'll go from there. Now it's time to set up email so we can send out the receipts to the customers. So the first thing you want to do is head to the plugin section and click on Add New. And we're going to search for Send in Blue. So that's no spaces, Send in Blue. And this one that's the newsletter, SMTP, we're going to click Install Now. So if you don't install something like this type of plugin, emails won't send out to customers unless you do this. So we'll choose Activate. The plugin's now live on the site, and if we go down the bottom section, click on Send in Blue, and we go to Home. We then have the option to create an account, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to click on Create Account, and we're going to put our email address in and passwords, and click on Create Account. You then ask to verify the email. So if you head to your email address, here it is. So we'll confirm the email address. And then fill in this information and hit next, and I'll see you on the next page. I'm just going to wind this on, so feel free to pause. And then fill out this information and then choose next. Feel free to pause this. Here you want to choose your company size, so I'm going to say 0 to 1. How many contacts do you have? I'm going to say 1 to 300. Do you sell online? Yes. And then choose next. And then you want to put your mobile phone number in. Do that, get it verified. And once you've verified your number, you can choose from the different plans. So there's a free plan, 300 emails per day. Have a look through them all, see what's right for your business. So I'm going to click on the free one. So now we're going to go back into WordPress. And we're going to go down to Send in Blue. So we've created the account, and now we're going to activate the account. So click on this here, and it'll take you to the page. We're going to click on API keys, and we're going to click on here. Click here, give it a name. So I'm just going to call it the website name. Click Generate. And it says take a copy and store it somewhere safe, so do that. Choose OK. And then what you want to do is you want to head over here. You want to paste it in this box. And you want to hit Login. And then you've successfully done it. So then you want to activate transactional emails, and then you want to use this. If, for example, you want to create a more professional email, you can do that, and when you've done it, you can create a new sender and add it in here. So if you wanted to create a professional email, you can do it in Cloudways by just going back in, and you can go to add-ons, and you can choose Rackspace email, and you can enable that. There's documentation on the Cloudways website. So if you want to create, for example, build a web gadgets, so you could have hello at buildawebgadgets.com. So you could do like that. So you can do that on Rackspace. I do my buildawebs.com one through them, and they're very good. If you want to customize emails, you can go into the WooCommerce settings, and you can go to emails, and you can choose what you want to turn on and what you want to turn off, and you can manage them. One thing to note is it's not exactly user-friendly, the messages that come out, but there are ways to improve them with plugins and different things like that. So let's have a look at buying something, ordering something, and see how the emails flow out. So if we go to the home page and we go to products, and let's have a go at buying this product. So we'll add it to the cart, view the cart. We might as well have a go at the discount code, coupon code that we applied. So we'll apply that. So you can see that comes in. You see that the shipping's going on. So if we proceed to the checkout, and you basically fill out this with, let's say, your address if you like. If you're in the United States, or if you come up with an address, fill it all out, and you'll see that it comes up. If, for example, we were to pick Canada, it would change the shipping amount and it would change the tax, but you can sort of see how it's all flowing through. Because we've got test mode enabled, we can copy this here. We can put the card number in, put an expiry, back of the card number. You can save your number for future purchases. I'll just untick that. And then you can place the order. So if we hit place order, this is what you see. You see the order number and the details of what it come through with the discount, the shipping, the tax, the total, and then the information that comes through that you've submitted. So then, based on the email that we set up, the customer should receive an email. So I'll just go to the junk. So there you go. Thank you for your order. Hi Jonathan, that's me, and shows the order. You can make little tweaks, for example, where it says my company, change that round in sending blue so it reads better. So you can make little tweaks, but overall, I would say that's pretty good. And then this is what the store receives, new order, shows what's been ordered, and then it can be processed on from there. If you do want to change, for example, this round where it just says my company, you can go back in to WordPress and you can go to send in blue, and where it says create a new sender, you can click on that. you can click on senders and just edit this. So for example, I'll change this to build a web gadgets. I'll just choose save, and then that'll be changed the next time it gets sent out. It'll read build a web gadgets, the email address, and so on. So you're now seeing how you can create a store, and we've got a store that now can accept payments and is fully functional really. If we head over to the actual website, I'm now going to show you how you can edit the website using page builders that are already built into WordPress with additional plugins, and I'm going to show you how you can use the WordPress customizer to tweak this page. But the first thing we'll do is we'll have a look at the page speed insights. So if you copy the URL that you've used up at the top and you go to page speed insights and you paste it in here, you can then see the speed of the website. So this is a well-trusted page speed tool. So then you just click analyze and it'll show you the results on mobile and desktop. So remember, this page is just what we've imported from the template. This isn't, we haven't tweaked anything yet, but you might be quite surprised by the actual speed. So overall on mobile it gets a performance of 88, and when you think about the amount of pictures that we've got on this website, it's doing really well because there's a lot of content. When you look at what's causing the problems is the first contentful paint. So basically the large picture at first, and then, but overall if you look at it, there's a speed index of 2.5 seconds. Anything under 3 is spot on. If we flick over to desktop, it's got a performance of 99, page speed index of under a second at 0.8. So you can see overall it's really good. But what we're going to do, we're going to tweak this page and we're going to see if we can increase the speed of it, and we're going to have a play about with a few settings. So anyway, let's get back into it. So to edit a page, all you need to do is make sure you're on the page and click edit page. We're using the Gutenberg tool with an extra plugin. So to show you that plugin, if we just go back in and we go to plugins and install plugins, it's stackable Gutenberg blocks, and it adds functionality to the Gutenberg block editor. So if we go back onto the website and we click edit page, so what we're going to do, we're going to remove some content from this page. So if we just click on this dark section here, and then we click these 3 horizontal lines, which is list view, we're basically going to select this here. We're going to click on these dots and we're going to remove these columns. We're going to leave this spacer in, but we're going to click in the section below, which is included within this column and container. So within Gutenberg and most page builders, you basically add columns in, and then you can insert things such as this and this in the columns, but we're going to clean things up first. So essentially click on these 3 dots on the first columns container, and we're going to click remove columns container. We're then going to click on one of these here, and we're going to remove again the top columns container. We're going to go down, and this one we're going to leave as it is, so we'll keep scrolling down. Same again with this one and this one. And we're going to remove this. Remember, we're removing quite a lot of these because this is the main page on our website and we're trying to increase it for speed, but also I'm teaching you how to remove things in this page builder. So we're going to click on this one, and this is this columns and container. So we're going to click remove columns and container. We're going to do the same on this one. So as you can see, it's selected that column, but we're going to click on this columns and container. You can also see when you click on it, it highlights the outer edge. So we're going to click remove columns and container. And the final one we're going to do is this section here. So just click on the black, click on these dots here, and choose remove columns container. So we've cleaned the page up quite a bit, but we've got a few other bits to do first. So what we're going to do, there's a top spacer here, so you can see it's highlighted there. You see where this little circle is here? You can drag it down to create more space. We're gonna put it at 120. There's also a spacer underneath. We're going to delete that. You can delete it on the page, or you can click on these dots. I'll show you how you delete it on the page. So select it, and then just click remove spacer. We're going to remove that one. So there should only be one spacer at the top, which you can see on the left hand side, and then we've got this column. We're going to edit this column in a little bit, but let's just do a little bit of cleanup. So we're looking to have a space at the top of 120 pixels, and then a spacer there. That remains as it is. We've got pixels of 120 there. So we'll get rid of these spacers. So again, click where you want, click remove spacer, and we're going to remove this bottom one, just so the gap's nice and even between. But just to explain spacers, it just puts a space between, for example, the top of the page and the next container columns. As you can see, it creates a gap as you go through. So all the spaces are set at 120, so that just makes it nice and even. And what we're going to do is, we're just going to click on update, and we're going to show you the page. So if we click update, and then click on view page, you can see at the top the menu bar's disappeared because it had a black background and had white and grey font. But we're going to change that and basically show you how it can then appear. But if we just scroll down the page first, we'll just see how it looks. So you can see it's a lot cleaner, there isn't as much on. But over time, you can add more things on and just play away with it. So to be able to edit the header, you basically click on Customize. And then what you can do, you can hover up in this white space at the top and click on main row. And what it does is, it brings up a header builder. So we're just going to quickly change these round dead quick. So we're going to click on the logo, and on the transparent background, which is what you're seeing there, we need to change it so it looks like this top logo. So we're just going to click on the logo there. Later on in the tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a logo for yourself. So please keep following along so you can see how to do that. So click on gadgets there, just this black one. And then to see it, all you do is click this arrow in the bottom left. And as you can see, it now appears because it's black. So if we go on menu, we're going to change that so it's black font on a white background. So just click on the menu, and then all you do is click design here, and we're going to change this so it's black. And we'll change this one. We'll change them so they're the same color as them. So if we go back out, you can now see that they appear when you hover over them, they go blue. When they're active, they go blue. So if we go back, so you basically use this arrow in the bottom left, and you can then change the others. So we're just going to click on search, we're going to click on design, and we're going to change this one so it's black, and we're going to change this one so it's black. We'll change this so it's the same color as that one, and we'll do the same for account. So you click on account, click on design, click here and choose black, click on here, choose black, click on there, choose purple. So what we're using now is the WordPress customizer. So WordPress customizer helps customize things that the page builders can't do, and it allows you to change different things in the theme. So we'll change the cart one and we'll show you the results. So again, click on cart, click on design, change this color to black, change this one to black, and then we'll put that one as purple. So if we click this arrow in the bottom left, and we can see that they now appear, and when you hover over them, they're purple. One thing we'll change while we're in the customizer, so if we just click on the option in the bottom left again, this little arrow, we'll head back out of here, and what we're looking for is pages. So if we click on pages, and we're going to choose normal width, so it's already on that, so we don't need to do anything there. So to be able to save the results, you click publish, and what we're going to do, we're going to go back into the page and we're going to see how it looks, and then we're going to start editing this section here. So we're going to choose the X in the top left. Now it's published, and we can see how it looks. It's looking a lot brighter now that they're available. I'll show you later on how you can change the colors again, and we're going to look at the WordPress customizer in more detail. So what we're going to do, we're going to start editing this now. So if we choose edit page, so we're going to leave this spacer as it is. So we're going to click these three bars again. We'll just close this down. Click these three bars. And we can see all the different elements that are currently on the page. So we're going to start editing this here. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to show you how you change the heading in here. So this is included in a column. So a column's been created and a heading's been included in it. So you've basically got a container, a column within it. So here's our container, here's our column, and then here's our heading. We're going to change that to that. If you want to change the text, you just click in it and you can just type away. If, for example, you didn't mean to do that, you can hit the back button up in the top, but you can also hit the forward button, a bit like it works in Excel and things like that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how you change this image. So you can just click on this image, and then what you can do is you can click on this cog, and if you choose that image we'll just drag this bar down. It might already be down, so don't worry. And you can see under style, under here, you've got the option to change the image. So we're going to click on the image and we're going to choose the Mavic 2. So here it is. So choose the image, click on select. If you wanted to upload them, you can choose to upload. It's very straightforward to follow through. So choose the image and click select. And as you can see there, it's appeared there. So what we'll do is we'll just close this down on the right hand side. And you can see how we've changed that there. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a play about with these buttons. So if we click on, for example, watch video here, we're going to actually remove this button. So what you can do is you can click on it there, and on the left hand side when you've got the list view open, you can choose to remove it. So we'll click on remove. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to click on this button here, and we're going to click on these three dots here. You can also do it there, and we're going to choose to duplicate it, and we're going to call this all products. So what we're going to do next is we're going to add a link to this all products button that'll take you to the products page. It's the same idea with the view offer where you would link to the Mavic 2. We don't actually have a Mavic 2 product when it was imported and we haven't created one, but it's the same idea as the all products. So what you want to do, you want to head up to the W, right click on it, open it in a new tab, and then just click on the web page, click on products, and then copy this URL, go back to here, click on all products, click on the cog, and then you want to look for link, and all you do is go and paste it in here, and then just click on this, and then you can choose whether you want to open it in a new tab. I'm going to choose open in a new tab, and then all we'll do is we'll just close this down, and I'll show you a couple of things first. If you want to change the background color, just click on this and click on the cog, click on block, and then you can turn the background off. So if you turn it off there, everything disappears, or you can turn it on. Currently it's set as a gradient between the black and the purple, and you can have a play about with the different settings to change where, for example, that line stops and starts, and feel free to have a play about with that. If you don't like gradients, you can change it to a single color like that, for example, but you can also just put it back to gradient. We'll put it back that way. If you want to center a line, for example this, you can click in the title and you can click align text center, or you could go to the right. I actually think it looks best on the left. And just have a play about, to be honest, because it's the best way to learn. You can change, for example, the width of this. You could go 150, not good. You could say 120 and it goes bigger. I'm just going to put it on what it was. And then I'm going to click on update, view page, and I'm just going to close this products page down. I'm going to click on all products, and as you can see, it takes you to the product page. So just close that tab down. I'm going to now continue editing the page, so go up to the top and click edit page. I'm going to scroll down. We're going to edit this section. If, for example, you wanted to change this round, you can just type in and you can also do with the text, just as so. We're going to add a link to this view all, so we can use the product link section as we had before. So click on the cog, and then click on this all products, and then choose link. And we're just going to take this link, so we'll just copy. You can also just click on the pen and take it from in here. So you could copy that. And then we're going to go down to this view all. We're going to click on that. And then you want to click on the cog. And then under link, you can paste the URL in. Just click on here. And then you can choose to open it in a new tab, for example. So that's that view all button done. We'll show it out in practice. So if you choose update, it saves it. And we'll click on view page. We'll scroll down and we'll click view all products, and it opens up the products. So if we go and edit page again, and what we're going to do is we're going to create reusable blocks. So we'll just close this side panel down by clicking the X, and then we will click on these three horizontal list view. So what we'll do, we'll just highlight this section, and then you'll see above where it's highlighted, there's a columns container, and we're going to basically create everything that's surrounded by blue here. We're going to create this a reusable block so we can use it on other pages. So to do that, make sure you clicked on this columns and container section. So like I say, the easy way is just to click on the page, and then you'll see the overall section for it. So click on there, click on the three dots. You can also do it this way. So you can click on, for example, the section here, and you can click here and choose create reusable block. So we'll just call this featured products heading. Choose save, and then we're going to repeat the process for this shortcode on the side. So again, if you want, you can just click in here, choose these dots, and click on create reusable block. So we'll just call this featured product shortcode. And save. And these can be used later on. If, for example, you wanted to move some things about, you can also do that by using these arrows. So for example, you could put the featured products above, but I'll just put it back to where it was. So just move that up one. So you should have the spacer, then the columns, and as you can see there, but you can have a play about and just use this on the side for reference. So if, for example, you wanted to insert something between the featured products, so between the shortcode and this latest news, you could do that by just clicking on the spacer and then clicking this plus in the top left. And for example, you could add something in from here. So you could add a heading, and you could type your text in there. Or so to delete that, you just click these here and click remove heading. You could also put some columns in, and you could choose what you want to insert. So you could go, for example, 50-50, and you can insert something on the left, insert something on the right. So on this side, for example, you could put a heading, and on the other side you could put an image of some sort. So you can see how you can start to sort of build the page like that. If you just want to completely get rid of this again, you can go on to open this up and then select this and then click on the column on there and you can just delete it. And of course at the bottom, if you wanted to put something in underneath here, you can use the plus. You can also use the plus in the top left. And if you click Browse All, you can choose different options to add in, for example, a map, an icon. You've also got your reusable blocks there, but I'll show that later on. So if we click on Update, there's the view. So click on View Page. And then if you wanted to tweak this latest news section below, you can also do that. So if you go back into the edit page, just close this tab down. And if you right click on the W and open this in a new tab, and then you click on the website and you go to blog, just take a copy of this link and go back to WordPress. And what we're going to do, we're just going to add it in on this view all here. So click on the cog, make sure you clicked on this view all, scroll down to find the link section and just add the link in here. Click here and you can choose to open it in a new tab or not. And then in this section below, it's shortcode, and you can basically choose how many blog posts you want to see. So you can choose 3, for example, and then if you wanted to show 4, you could do that and just click on Update. Let's view the page, and that's the home page completely done. This bottom section here we'll cover later on in this tutorial. One thing to say is this website's completely responsive on mobile and tablet. If you want to see it on mobile and tablet, you can just go into Edit Page at the top. And then you've got the option to preview. You can preview on desktop, which we are. You can preview on tablet and see what it looks like. And you can also preview on mobile and scroll through and see what it looks like. You can also preview it in a new tab. One thing to state is that if, for example, you're using the free version of stackable blocks, if you wanted to rearrange so this image was at the top by, for example, clicking on the column section and dragging it just above it, it would take it above like that. But if you preview on desktop, where we're currently on mobile, you'll see it changes on there. So if you want to have it look different on different devices, you have to upgrade. I just wanted to let you know. Also, if you're designing the website, you can, for example, go preview and then preview in a new tab. And then what you can do is, for example, you can right click in the white space here and you can click on inspect, and then you can view it on different devices if you like. So here you can see what it would look like on a phone. If you click on this arrow here, you can see different devices, so you could see what it looks like on an iPhone, and you can have a play about and that. Feel free to have a play about with this, but just click X to exit, and then we'll just close this down and we'll continue on with the tutorial. And then we'll just click on the W in the top left. Then we'll click on here and we'll continue on. Let's have a look how it performs in terms of page speed. So one thing you want to do is go back into WordPress, and within Cloudways there's a cache plugin that makes it super fast. Just hover over the Breeze option here and click on Purge All Cache, and the cache should be purged. So if you go back onto the website and you copy the URL and you go into the page speed insights, there's a link to this in the description, and you basically search for it and click Analyze. Hopefully it should have improved from the statistics we had earlier. So you can see straight away mobile's improved from an 88 to a 94. The speed index is about the same, but general performance is good, so that's good for ranking on search engines. And desktop is still at 99, so that's performing really well. So yeah, one thing you can do to try and improve the page speed, if you go back into WordPress and you just click on the W here in the top left, then go to plugins and install plugins, and you'll find Breeze. Click on that and then go to file optimization, so let's go on the basic options first even. So let's turn on lazy load images, which can help the pages perform. Click Save Changes and then just purge the cache on Breeze, and we're just going to go back on here and we're going to see how it performs. So it's just this page here, so you can go to pagespeed.web.dev, it's also in the description. And again, paste the link in here that you've got from our website and click Analyze. Now let's just see how it performs now. It's actually gone down, but not to worry, you can always turn it back off. But ultimately, the mobile's under 3 seconds, so it's a really good thing. We have got quite a few images on there, so you can expect that sometimes. And then desktop's still at 99. So if you want, you can always turn lazy loads back off, choose Save Changes, refresh the cache and check it out. We'll now have a look at changing different pages on the website. So let's go to the website and let's go to the products page. We're going to go into customize by clicking that there. And we're going to go down to the WooCommerce section, and we're just going to go on product archives, and in this page title one, we're just going to change it to the one on the left. I think the page looks a lot better, and the black space, if you just click back on it, it takes up quite a lot of space by having that enabled. So I think you're better off with type 1, personally. But you can have it however you want. I'm just teaching you the basics so you can start customizing your site. So click Publish. And then just choose X there. So that's that page. We're now going to go on to the About Us page. So we're going to edit the page by clicking Edit Page. We're going to change this text here to black, so just click on it And under typography on the left hand side, you should be able to go down to text colour, and we're just going to put that to black. We're then going to click on this black section here, and we're going to click on block. We're then going to click on background, and we're going to change that to white. We're then going to go down, and here's an image of the people who work for the company, the team. So if you want to change this image, you can just click on here, and then you can choose another image of the team by clicking on here and either uploading one or choosing one for the library, and you can easily tweak it. You can also change the names around by just clicking in, and you could change, for example, Amber Murphy. So you could say the first guy's Aaron Foster. You could say that's Amber Murphy. And you can just leave those as they are. You can also change their roles. And you can change the description of what they do on the right hand side by clicking the X. We'll move down the page and we'll edit some more stuff. So this is a heading here, and we're just going to change this to our story. Just let the customers know a little bit more about us. What we'll do is we'll get rid of this section here. So if we just click the list view, and we'll just remove these. These can always be added back in later on. Just click on this container here, and just click on the three dots and remove the column. We'll get rid of one of these spaces. Remove spacer. And what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this text, but on your website, write as much about yourself as possible and what you do. And basically, I'm just going to hit enter at the end of each line and just put some text to what we do. You can finesse that and make it look how you want. You can align it to the left. You can align it to the center. I generally think things always look better centralized. And then what we'll do is, on this section here, we'll add a spacer in. So actually we'll just bring that down a little bit. So drag it down 40. And then what we're going to do is we're going to edit these buttons. We're going to change this one to shop now to direct them to the shop. So click on the cog, and you can change it in here. So you can say shop now. You can also change it in here under typography where it says shop now. See how it changes? You can do that. And what we'll do is we'll right click on the W in the top left, and we'll add the links in so they're ready. So we'll go to the website, and we'll go to the products page. We'll take a copy of this link. We'll go back to here, and we'll go up to link, and we'll add it in here. So paste it in there, click on this, and you can choose to open a new tab. I'm just going to leave that. And we'll repeat the process for the contact us. So just click on the contact us. We've already got this cog open. So we're going to paste the contact us link in there. We've still got to make a few changes on the contact us page. So then we'll paste that in there, click this, and then that's that section complete. We'll close this down just so we can see a bit more of the screen. In this video, we're just going to get rid of this section. You don't need too much on the page, to be honest. So we'll open this up. Let's click on that. And then what we're going to do where it says video pop-up with these dots, we're just going to click remove video pop-up. And we're going to leave these brands in. If you want to replace this, for example, click on it, click on the cog, and you can choose, you can see the Apple symbol behind there. You can select the image and change it to something else. I'm just going to leave them as they are, but of course you can go through and change each one of them. They're separated by columns, so there's a column, there's a column. If you ever want to remove them, you can just delete them in here, and you can also add new columns in to here as well. We'll then move down to the testimonials, so you can change the testimonials. You can change the text, you can change the name of who it was, for example, and you can change that round. We're then going to remove this See All Reviews button, because we're not going to use this in this tutorial. So if we just select it, and what we'll do is we'll just remove the actual button group, so it just takes the whole thing out. Remove button group, and then we'll delete this spacer. And then what we'll do, we'll take out this section here by just clicking these dots after clicking the black. Remove columns container, and then what we'll do is we'll add our products in at the bottom. So we'll click on here, click the plus, click reusable. We'll add that one in first, and then we'll add that one in. And then what we'll do is we'll hit update and we'll view the page, see what it looks like. So then click view page. So here's our About Us page, our team, our story, the different buttons. So you've got the Shop Now button, takes you to the shop. And then you've got the Contact Us button, goes to the Contact Us page. And then if we go back, for some reason this video's popped back in, but never mind. And then you've got testimonials, and you've got our featured products there, which the view all button should work like it did before, and then it takes you to the page. Let's just see why this this video pop-up has appeared. So if we go edit page, and we'll just see if we can remove it, but worst case it can be removed later on. So let's go down, and let's click on this, and let's click on here, and let's, where it says video pop-up, let's remove the video pop-up. Let's update it again. Let's view the page. Let's go down. There we go. Don't know why that happened, but we've worked around it. And then there's our About Us page completely done. Again, you can tweak this, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give you a website that's easy to get started on, and then with time you can make it a lot more advanced. So let's go over to the blog page. So currently you can't see these unless you hover over them. So let's change that round. So what we're going to do, we're going to go in the customizer. and then we're going to go down to the blog section. We're going to go on blog posts. We're going to click on this arrow next to blog title, and we're going to change it to the first option. And that's the blog page. So then if we hit publish, and then we'll just hit the X here. Yeah, so here's our blog page, which you can now see the top section. And finally, we'll do the contact us page. So we'll head over there, click on contact us. And again, we're going to change this round. So we're going to click on edit page. We're going to change this contact us part to black. So if you click on the cog, and under typography, you should see that you can change the colour to black. We're then going to change this to white. So if you click on block and then background, we'll change it to white. And then you can see the text. If you want to edit the physical address, for example, you can do that. You can change your phone numbers round by doing that. It's like anything, you just click in it and you can change it. Change your email addresses. I'm just going to leave these because it's just an example website, but feel free to change them. And then we've got this section here, and we're going to completely remove this section. So if we just click here, and then click the list, we'll remove this whole section. So click on these three dots, click on remove columns. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this spacer. So just follow me here. Actually hit back, leave that in. So click here, and then click plus. And then we're going to add a map in. So just put map in here. And here it is. So if you click on the map, and you click here, we can enter a location, and then it'll show the location of where the store is. So I'm just going to take this address from up here. I'm going to click on the map, and I'm going to enter the location here. So that's the location set, and then the person can navigate there. Scroll down. So then you've got a trending now section. I'm going to change this to be featured products, and because we've got the featured products within the reusable blocks, we can basically remove this section. So if we just click here, just where my mouse is there, and we'll remove this, and we'll remove this shortcode, and we'll add the reusable blocks in because they include the link. So if we just click here, click the plus, go to the reusable, click this one, and click this one. And then when we scroll down, we're just going to remove this section by clicking on the black here, click on the three dots, and we've removed this. So let's click on update, then click on view page, and let's see what the page looks like. So here's our contact us page, there's the numbers, there's a map, and here's the featured products. Again, we're going to cover this section later on in the video. So let's have a look through our pages that we've customized. So we've got the home page. Here's everything we've done. And then we've got the products page. There it is. We'll go to the About Us. Here's the About Us page. Oh, we need a spacer at the bottom, so click on Edit Page. And let's scroll right down. And we need a spacer at the bottom. So we've got our featured products, and let's just add a spacer in here. Spacer, and let's say 120. And let's click on update, view page, and let's scroll down. Let's have a look how it looks. That looks a lot neater. So if we go back up to the top, there's our blog page. And finally, here's our contact us page. So next of all, we're going to be adding live chatting to the website with chatbots, and you'll be able to do it for completely free. So please keep following. So let's have a go at adding live chatting. So let's see how you can add live chat to your WordPress website. The first thing you want to do is head to builderwebs.com/Tidio. There's a link to this in the description. You can also see a larger version of it on screen. So that's builderwebs.com/Tidio. And then what you want to do is click on Get a Free Trial. Tidio allows you to add live chat and chat bots for completely free. So click on Get a Free Trial. And then sign up, and I'll see you on the next page. You'll then want to configure your live chat. So for example, my name's Jonathan, so I could say they're talking to Jonathan, or you could use the name of your website. So I could have put Builder Web Gadgets, and then you can choose the color scheme. As you can see, it changes on the right hand side here. So if you choose purple, you can also pick from many different colors. I actually just like blue. You can choose the language that you want to set it in. Once you've picked that, click on continue, and then you can personalize the experience in Tidio, and you can choose what you want to do. So I'm going to say I want to increase sales, and I want to, for example, talk to customers. I'm going to pick the number of agents, so I'm just going to put 1. I'm going to choose my industry, it's an online store. Say how many customers you have. I'm just going to say 0, I'm getting started. You can put whatever you want in these options, and then choose continue. You can then choose to set up your first chatbot. So for example, how you'd like to engage, you could send them a discount code. I'm going to show you how you send discount codes using the chat later on. So we're just going to say greet them warmly, and then choose continue. And then don't worry about all this, because I'm going to show you how you connect Tidio and your WordPress website. So just click continue. And now we're in the Tidio panel. What we're going to do is we're going to head into WordPress. So go back to the admin panel. So if you're on the contact us page or another page, you can just click the W and go back in. But just head into WordPress. And then what you want to do, you want to go down to plugins. You want to click on Add New. And then you want to search for Tidio. You want to click on Install Now. You want to choose Activate. You want to scroll down on the left hand side, and you want to click on Tidio Chat. We've already created an account, so what you want to do is you just want to click on Login at the bottom here when you scroll down, and then log in with the email address that you used earlier to sign up to Tidio, and put your password in, and then log in. You want to then choose a project. So we're just going to choose this one, the website that we listed in Tidio. And then we're just going to click on Integrate Selected Project. Don't worry about the integrating with WooCommerce, that can be done later on. And we're just going to click Continue. And then we're going to open the Tidio panel up. So I'm just going to close that one down that we had open just to show what it looks like. And everything's controlled in the Tidio panel. You've got the option to go through here, but I'm just going to show it my way. So click on Skip Now and go to Main Dashboard. And then in here, you've got different options. So you can see the inbox, you can see your dashboard, which is what we're currently seeing. You can choose to add chatbots. You can look at the visitors that visited your website. If, for example, you collect email addresses, you can see contacts, and you can see analytics to see how people are interacting with your website. What we're going to do now is we're just going to go into WordPress and we're going to go to the website. And what we should see is this comes up here, says hi there, if you need any assistance, I'm here. And then a visitor, a customer, can basically type a message in and start chatting away. What we'll do is we'll go back into the panel and we'll go down to this cog here, and it shows you ways that you can basically customize Tidio in the website. So like I showed earlier, you can change the color and you can see on the right hand side how it appears. I'm just going to leave it blue. You can change the online status that says we reply immediately. You could say we reply when we can. You can choose where you want the widget to appear, for example, on the left hand side or on the right hand side of your site. And then there's other options below where you've got widget visibility, things like that. You've got a pre-chat survey where you can choose to introduce yourself and things like that. You can collect email leads in there. I'm actually just going to take that off, but you can add it back in if you want to. And you can also choose multi-language. So you can put in as many different languages as you want, as it says there. Add as many languages as you want and let your customers use the widget in their language that they have set up in the browser. So that helps gain customers from different countries. I'm just going to click on Save. You can also show it not as like this here, so I'll just close this down. So you can have it like that, or for example, you could enable a sidebar, click on Save, and it appears like that. So if we just go back into the website, you can then see there the chat with us. If you go for the premium plans, you can have chat pages. You can add different translations in here. So as it says, add as many languages as you want. Let the customers use the widget in the language they have in the browser. And it just has all the different sort of phrases. You can use Tidio for ticketing and all sorts of things like that. You can integrate with Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and so on. I won't go into those. Another thing that you can do is add the operating hours. So for example, you can show when you're available to chat. You can tweak these round by dragging them, deleting them. You've also got canned responses. So I'll just click on OK there. And you can add new canned responses in, and you can also edit and delete. And by, for example, typing "be right back," it'll send this message here. So you can see how it would save time for your business by having different phrases available. Where, for example, you can put hashtag "be right back," and it'll bring up this phrase. Or, for example, you click this one and see how it saves time. There's other things you can do with, for example, workflow and the team, but I'm not going to get into that right now. You can also download desktop mobile apps so you can respond to customers on the go. So for example, you could have it on your phone. And I've covered sort of like the major settings there. So what I'll cover now is chatbots. So if, for example, we go here and click on chatbots, there's all sorts of different chatbots that you can use on the left-hand side here. For example, increase sales, generate sales. We're going to use this new feature called strategies, and we're going to use this one, increase sales. But you can also use this one, and you can explore all the sort of different options. We're going to click on learn more here, and we're just going to click on use strategy. And our first one is set up a cart booster. So you can offer a discount in the cart. So if we go back into WordPress earlier on in the tutorial, so if we click on the W, and then we go to WooCommerce, and under it we go to marketing and then coupons. And what we're going to do is we're just going to click into this, and we're just going to take gadget 10. We're just going to take a copy of that, and we're going to the Tidio panel. And you can say, for example, save 10% on this order. You could change it, and you can also change the discount code. And then if we just click on this section here, we can insert the gadget 10 discount code in here and click save. And the customer will be advised that, for example, they can save 10% on the order. And you can just leave that as cart, because that's what that is. Make sure they're all saved, all 1, 2, and 3. And then you can click next. And you can do the same for example, somebody's bought a product, you can offer them 10% there. So we're just going to put the gadget 10 in here, and we're just going to click save. And that'll be on the page that's order received. So we'll just click save. Let's click next. And you can set up, for example, a welcome message. So you could say, hi there, if you need any assistance, we're always here. And you can tweak these. And again, in the settings, in Tidio, all of this can be tweaked. So we'll just click on activate. And what you can see is under my chatbots on the left-hand side, you've got all these, and it shows on the left if they're active. You can also disable them. And it shows how many times they're executed and what type of engagement, so you can start building up statistics. So what we'll do is we'll go into the website, and we'll go into the cart to buy a product, and we'll go to, and we'll actually buy a product, and we'll get offered the discount. So let's go into WordPress. Let's go to products, and let's buy a product. So let's go for this here. So we'll go to the cart, view the cart. So we get a message here, save 10% on this order. So then you can click on get the code now. And then if you provide your email address, you can also tweak this so it doesn't. So we'll just put an email address in. And you can choose whether you want to be added into the subscribe list. You can say yeah, sure. And then it provides you the discount code. So we'll copy that. We'll put it in there. We'll apply the coupon. We'll just close the little chat down. And then you can see that the coupon's applied. We'll then proceed to the checkout. And what we'll do is we'll pay for it and see if we receive the discount on the other side. So let's take a copy of this, paste it in. And let's place the order. There's the order placed, and it says thanks for your purchase, claim a discount for your next order. So if we click on let's do it, it then provides a discount code. So you can see how chatbots help to increase the sales in the website and also reduce the need for staff. So this is a very, very quick show through, but I'll be doing more in-depth videos, so please feel free to subscribe to see more and more. Many other chatbots, for example, offering frequently asked questions and things like that. And yeah, again, I'll include the links in the description to be able to sign up to Tidio and follow along with this video. Let's just close this down and let's go back to WordPress by clicking the W. Next, I'll show you how you can create a logo. So to create a logo, you want to head to builderwebs.com/Fiverr. There's a link to this in the description, so feel free to click on it and navigate to the link. I'll also put it large on screen so you can see it. So that's builderwebs.com/Fiverr with 2 R's, and then navigate to this page. And then you need to join Fiverr. So however you do it, whether you sign in with Google or you choose your email, sign up and I'll see you inside Fiverr. When you've joined Fiverr, you can basically explore what's available. Fiverr is a collection of developers and designers that can create pretty much anything for you, as you can see across the top there, all the different services they have involved. But we're going to create a logo. So to create a logo, go under graphics and design and then click on logo design. In here, as you can see below, you can get designers to create logos for you, or you can use the logo maker to customize pre-made logos and get a logo really quick that can be used on social media and all sorts of different things. So if you click on logo maker and you add a brand name in, you can also add a slogan, and then it generates the results below. You can click on industry, for example, and you can choose, say for example, the business is in real estate, you want to create a logo that fits that industry, you can do that. Same with food and beverage. Ours is in technology, so I'm going to choose technology. And then on here, I'm going to choose gaming. And you can see it changes based on what's being put in. And finally, I'm going to add a graphic element. So it says it could be a dog, could be the sun, could be a flower. I'm just going to put gadget in, hit enter. I'm going to find a logo and basically tweak it, customize it to how I want. So this is the one I'm going to customize, so I'm just going to click on it. And then I'm going to choose, for example, this one, but you can go through the whole range and see what best fits you. You can see what it looks like on different elements, for example, social media, business cards, the cup. When you're ready to customize it, you can click on customize. And when you go inside, you can also choose those suggested designs anyway. So if you weren't sure of one, you can go back through that list. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click on, for example, the name, the brand name, and you can change it in there. You can also change the font, so I'm going to change it to Poppins, and I'm going to change it to, for example, extra bold. You can also change the font size by doing it that way. And down over, I'm going to change the colour from blue to black. I'm going to click on this icon and I'm going to change that to black as well. That one, I'm going to leave the black background colour just as it is there. You can go into the name again like you've seen before, and you can change the name, you can change different things around. You can add a slogan in, you can put a shape, so for example you could put it inside a shape, a square or a circle. I'm going to turn that off because I'm not going to use it. You can change your background and there's layouts. In terms of changing how this looks, you can drag it around like that. You can drag it like that and it'll show that that's, for example, the center. You can make it larger by doing that, for example, make it smaller that way. I'm just going to put it in the center and I'm just going to drag it to the left a little bit. And then I'm going to move this down. And as you drag it, you can centralize it to that. And you can also make that bigger by, for example, the font size there. If you just want to auto align it to the center, you can click on auto align. And I'm quite happy with that design, so I'm just going to click on buy and download. And just make sure that you've activated your account, and then you can continue to buy it. Now that I've activated my account, I'm just going to refresh the page. And I'm going to show you the different options that are available to buy the logos. So you can go for the essential one, where you get instant delivery, but for example you don't get the extra options below here, where you get the SFG file where it can be stretched on the website without distorting. You get the websites and app logo files, social media kits. So the social media kit in itself is very, very good, because essentially you can get the logo for all these different social media sites. So it's very, very helpful. And you can get Zoom backgrounds and everything like that. I'd recommend going for this one or this one, because you get an extra chance to revise your logo. You can also download a sample of not your logo, but how it would all look. So when you're ready, click on buy now. And then pay for the logo, and I'll see you on the next page. Once you've bought the logo, you'll land on a page similar to this. I opted for the professional version, and I've done 2 variations of the logo. That's why your screen might look a little bit different. But ultimately, I'm opting for this. To download the assets, the logo, you just click on download assets. And then you can open up the zip file and start looking at the logos. So I'm just going to open up the zip file. So if we go into it, you've got all the different options available there. The favicon, PNG logo files, social media kit, vector files, Zoom backgrounds. So say for example we look at the PNG files. Let's take a look. So here they are with the different backgrounds available. If we just go back, we'll take a look at the social media kit. So you can see that you've got your different icons. So you've got your cover image, profile images, same for YouTube. There they be. If you haven't followed this tutorial through, there's a link in the description where you can create it in Fiverr. You can also go back into Fiverr and you can get a designer to create whatever you require. So you've now seen how to create a logo. Next, I'll show you how you can add a logo into your WordPress website. So we're now going to look at the WordPress customizer, and we're going to use it to upload the logo that we've already created and tweak other parts of the website. So what you want to do, you want to go into the website that you've already created, and you want to click on Customize like we've done before. This is the WordPress Customizer, and it lets you customize things that the page builder can't. So you can change things such as the header and footer, the colour, the text, and all sorts of other things that we're going to go through. And don't be fazed by this because it's quite easy to work out as you go. So the first thing we're going to cover is the header. So we're just going to click on header on the left hand side, and you'll see that this header builder comes up. So what we're going to do, we're going to add the logo that we created before. So if we just click on logo here, we can choose to add a normal logo and a transparent state logo. So say for example the top is transparent and you've got a white logo, for example. You want something that'll show, but let's not get caught up on all this. Let's just upload the logos that we've already created before. So if we just click on this top one that says logo, and then go to upload files and select files, we're then going to go to the files that we've downloaded for our logos. So it's just in the download file, and I'm going to go to Fiverr Premium Kit, and then we'll go to PNG logo files, and then I'm going to upload a couple of the logos. So I'm going to choose to upload this transparent logo. So I'm just going to choose open. And as you see when it goes across there, that's it done. And I'm going to choose select. And I'm going to, on this one, I'm going to attach the transparent logo that we've already put on. And as you can see, it adds it in. But for me, that's just a little bit too small. If you're wondering, oh, where's the menu bar? If, for example, you click that button there, it shows. And again, you can see that the logo height's a little bit too small. So if we scroll down, so if you click that arrow when you're on that page, just in the bottom left, as you can see, it toggles between. And then what we can do is we can scroll down when we're back on this page, and you can increase the logo height. So I'm going to choose a size of roughly, say, let's say about 79. And then we'll just have a look, see how it looks on different devices. So you can click between these to see how it changes. I'm going to go with that, and then I'm going to move the spacer down. So that's the space between the header and the field, and see how that goes. Don't worry about that because, like I say, we'll cover that in a little bit. If, for example, you wanted to rearrange, let's say, the logo and the menu, you can do that by, for example, dragging it and then dragging that there. And then when I click on the arrow in the bottom left, you'll see that they change position, as you can see. So if you just click back on the arrow, you can swap them. So if we just drag this over here, actually, just leave that where it is. If you click on the X, and then you drag the menu back to this box, I'll show you how you can add them. So on the left hand side, under header, you can drag the logo across. And as you can see, it reappears. And that's the header there. As I'd shown earlier in the tutorial, you can change the colours of, for example, the menu bar, the search bar. So all you do is you just click in it and then you go to design and you can change the colours around. So the same for search, click on design and you can change there. It's the same for the others. So I'll just click on the arrow there and that's how it's looking. So I'm quite happy with that at the minute. So let's have a look and see how you can change it on, for example, a tablet or a mobile phone. So when you've got this closed or open, you can click on tablet mobile header and you can view it. So if I just click on the arrow and I can switch to mobile, and that's how that looks. Again, you can go to tablet, you can go back to desktop. So if we just go back to tablet and we just click on this arrow, that's where it overlaps a bit, but you can see that when you close it down on desktop, it's fine. So what we'll do is we'll go through a few other things and we'll fix this problem at the top. So what we'll do, as you know on most mobile sites, so if we just go to mobile, you normally have like a menu bar in the top right, which we have enabled, which is the trigger. So whether you're on the tablet or you're on the mobile, click on trigger and you can choose what design you want. First of all, we're going to click on design and we're going to say the default state's black and we're going to say it's like a purpley colour when you hover over it. So we'll just pick that colour. As you can see, it appears there, and as you hover over it, it goes purple. And we'll do the same for tablet. So if we just click on trigger, and we'll just change these to black and purple, black and purple. And as you can see, that appears, but again, we'll fix that little problem in a bit. If we go down, and let's say we're on mobile, there's an option for off-canvas logo and off-canvas area. So if you click on off-canvas area, and then you click on these three horizontal bars, the menu bar, you've got the option to have a side panel or have it as modal. So as you can see, it changes. If you put side panel, you can choose whether you want it on the left or you want it on the right. You can also choose the panel width. I personally prefer modal, and you can also change the colours around of how you want, so feel free to play about with that. You can also add a logo in. If you click on mobile menu, you can choose how you want, for example, things to work in there. And then you've got socials. So if we just scroll down, you can choose what social medias you want. Later on, I'll show you how you can add the links in. So feel free to have a play about with this and then add the links later. So I'm going to delete medium, but say for example you wanted to add one in, you can choose add. And if you look down, there's one there. But I would have a look for example, Instagram. And then if you click add, you can add Instagram in. You can also rearrange them. And as you can see at the bottom, it'll change. If you go on design, you can choose what colour, for example, you want the socials, have a play about with it, see how you feel. I'm not going to go into massive detail, but you can change, for example, it to be the official. So you could have it looking like that if you want. But again, I'm not going to go into massive detail on this. If, for example, we go back out of socials and we just click on the off-canvas area, You can, for example, align it horizontally, so you could have it look like that. And again, you can change this round for tablet, so you could do it on there. See how you feel. Some people just like it on the left. I'm going to leave it on the middle. And if we come out of this and we look at this issue, we'll just quickly solve that. So let's hit publish. When you hit publish, it's live on the page and you can't go back. If, for example, you didn't mean to do something, you can X out of it, but previous changes will delete. So let's hit publish. And we'll fix this issue, which you see like that. Tiny little tweak. So come out of it by hitting the X, click on edit page, and we're going to edit in tablet mode. So click on preview, click on tablet, and we're just going to bring this down a little bit by dragging it. So just hover over this. I'm going to put it on, say, 85, and then we'll click on preview and we'll change to mobile, and we'll change this amount of pixels down to, say, 85, and then click on update, and then view the page, and then click on the customizer and we'll view it. So if we then click on header, we'll click on tablet and mobile, and let's view it between tablet and then mobile. As you can see, it's looking a lot better. One thing I've realised is we need to add the cart in to tablet and mobile. So when you're just on this header section, you can just drag the cart over to, say, next to the trigger. Then you'll see that the cart appears, and if you've got an order in, for example, you've added something to the cart, you'll see the 1 there or a 2. If you click on the cart, you can choose different types of carts, and you can change the colours around by doing that. And if we click on tablet, and then we just click on back and back and hit publish to make the changes live on the site. We'll now have a look at the footer area. So what we can do, I'll show you another way to do it. So if we just scroll down, this is how our footer area looks. I'm going to change to desktop. And this is the footer. So if you click edit here, you can choose the number of columns. So again, if you wanted to do that, you can also open this back up and click on, for example, top row, middle row. I'm actually going to go on this bottom row, and I'm going to say we want 2 columns. And then if you want, you can add something else into there. And you can also change it to how you want the layout to be. But say, for example, you just want to go back to 1, you can leave it like that. But you can also do that across the different areas. I'm just going to leave it as it is and tweak it, but please know that you can add things in. So what we'll do now is we'll change the colours of the footer. So it's all black here. We're going to change it to a kind of grey colour. So if you click on the top row and then you click on design, it inherits this from the theme. But what you can do is you can just click on that and you can change it to, for example, grey. I actually have a colour in mind, and you can also find it by doing it on here. It's just a little bit more difficult, but you can use this to pick a colour that you like. But I'm just going to type mine in. So mine's A6, A6, A6. And I'm just going to copy this. and I'm going to set that as the background colour. I'm going to go onto the middle row. I'm going to click on Design. I'm going to click on Row Background, and I'm going to paste this in here. And as you can see, that now goes grey. And I'm going to click on bottom row, Design, click on this here, and I'm just going to paste it in. I'm just going to click on this arrow and show you what it looks like. I'll just click on Hide Builder. And you can see the colour that's come through. As I go through these different sections next, I'll show you how you can change the colours. So I'm just going to click on this here, and I'll click on Show Builder. And I'm going to go to Widget Area 1. So widgets allow you to add different parts into sidebars and into the footer. Different themes, for example, this is the Bloxy theme, have different widgets and different areas that are allowed to be used. So if we just click on Widget Area 1, you can actually tweak this while you can see it on screen. So if we scroll down, you've got this Gadgets area. So we can upload the logo in here. So we can click on this, for example, and then click on Replace, and then click on Open Media Gallery. So that one's the transparent logo. We're going to choose the grayscale one. So I'll click on Upload Files, choose Select Files, and I'm just going to choose grayscale and then open. But again, you can choose whatever you need to when you're uploading these logos. I'm going to click on Select. And there it appears. In this tutorial, I'm going to get rid of this part of text. I'm just going to click on this section, and then I'm going to click on the three dots, and I'm just going to click Remove Paragraph. I'm going to click on this here and see how it looks. That's looking quite good. Next, I'm going to change these logos here. So if we click on the arrow on the bottom left, and let's remove some of these icons. So if we just click on the icon, click on the three dots and click on Remove Button, and then click on that one, for example, click on the three dots, click on Remove. Same for this, Remove Icon. And then if we click on this one, click on the three dots and click on Show More Settings, and we're just going to choose Plain. We're going to go down to the icon, and we're going to click on it, and we're going to search for Facebook. And we're just going to choose this one, and we're going to say the icon colour is black. And then what we're going to do, we're going to come back out. So we're just going to click back up once we scroll to the top. I'm going to click on the icon, and we're going to duplicate it. We'll duplicate this one as well. And let's duplicate this one. So we're going to click on the first one. Actually, we're going to click on the second one. I'm going to click on these three dots, click on Show More Settings. And we're going to choose to click on the icon section. And let's say this one's Instagram. So type Instagram in. And we'll pick this one. And let's go on to the third one. So if we just scroll up, click on the arrow back, click on there, click on the three dots, click on Show More Settings, close styles down, click on the icon, and we'll say Twitter. So let's pick that one. And then let's just go back. And let's choose LinkedIn for the last one. So click on the icon, choose the three dots, click on show more settings. And then on this icon, we're just going to search for LinkedIn. And there's that there. So if we click on the arrow on the bottom left, just see how it looks. Let's just go back on the Instagram one. It's looking a bit strange. So click back. Click on the icon, click on the three dots, click on show more settings. Let's click on the icon, type Instagram in, and choose this icon here. Just scroll down. And there it is. I feel like it fits in with that a bit better. Next, we'll cover this. So just click here. We'll cover the useful links section. So if we click on the arrow on the bottom left, and then if we click on edit under useful links, first thing we'll do, we'll just change the color. So we'll click on design, and then we'll go on font color, and we'll just change it to black for all of these. We'll just hit back. Click on edit under useful links. Click on useful links. Click on these three dots. Click on show more settings. Click on text and then click on black. That just changes that top section. And then what we're going to do is, if you just click on edit there, just hit back. We're going to add a link to all of these. So we'll take the URL from the top, so it should be what your domain is. So if we just copy this bit here, and we click on About Us, we click on the pen here. You can call the page whatever you want to call it. I'm leaving it as About Us. So then put the URL name / whatever the page is called. So I know this is called About Us with a hyphen. Then just click on this link and it's then active. I'm just going to go back into that About Us, click on the pen, and I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to change the Contact Us. Just paste this in here and then change this to Contact Us. If you aren't sure of the links, for example, you could just go to the URL and get them. So, About Us, Contact Us. So I can see I got that one right. So then products, so I might as well take it from here, go to the product page, and I'll just take a copy of this, click on the pen, and I'll paste that in there. For login, click on login, click on the pen, and then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take it back to the domain name .com / WP login .php ? Click on that there, and then that's active. And I'm just going to click on this, click on the pen, and I'm just going to copy this because we're going to use it again. Just click on that, click on sign up, click on the pen, and on this I'm going to paste it in, and after the PHP ? I'm going to type action equals register. I'm going to click on that. And there's a dead easy way to test this. So for example, you can click on the sign up, then you can just click on this link and it brings this page up. As it says, there's an error, user registration is currently not allowed. If we go onto this page that we opened and we head into WordPress, so you could just open WordPress up through your website. And if we then head to the WordPress settings, so hover over settings and click general. And if we scroll down, all we need to do is click anyone can register next to membership and then save the page. If we head back to here, and we'll close this one down and we'll close this one down, and we'll click on this link again, and it gives the option to register for the site. If we close this page down, we'll continue editing this. So just click on hide builder in the bottom right, and we're going to continue on editing this. So we'll just click on the arrow on the bottom left, click on it again, open it up, and we'll click on edit on custom area. So first of all, I'm going to change this to customer area because I think there's been a typo. And then I'm going to click on this text here, click on the three dots, click on show more settings, click on text, and click on black. I'm then going to click on edit again, just go back. This section here, I'm going to click on design, and I'm going to change the text to black on all three of these. Of course, if you wanted to have, for example, the hover a different colour, you can. So you could have that purple if you want. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through and I'm going to remove some of these, and some of them I'm going to add the links in. So if we click on edit here, we'll just go back. Click on edit. And for my account, I'm going to keep that. So click on there. And we're just going to take the URL from above. Yours will be above. I'm going to click on my account. We'll click on the pen. I'm going to paste that in there. And then we're going to type my -account and just click on the link. And again, you can click on that to go to the page to check it's working. The tracking list, we're going to click on it. We're going to click on the three dots and we're just going to remove it. You can also add items in. I find the best way is to just duplicate it and then change the link because it's quicker. Again, you can duplicate by choosing one of them, clicking the three dots, click duplicate. The privacy policy, I'll show you where you can get a privacy policy later on, and that can be added in retrospectively. We're going to remove orders, so click on orders, click on remove list item, and then cart, we're going to click on cart. We're going to take a copy of the URL from above, I'm going to paste it in here, and here we're going to type just cart. Click on this link, and that's that section done. And then we'll have a look at more information. So we'll just go back. We'll click on here. And we'll change this to About Us. We'll click on it. We'll click on the three dots. We'll click on Show More Settings. We'll click on Text. We'll click on Black. And it changes that there. And again, you can write some text about us. Just click back. Click on here. And then what we'll do is we'll click on design and we'll change the text to just black. You can of course put it to whatever colour you like. I'm just showing you how you can do it. And then if we just go back and we click on edit here, underneath there's just an image that shows different payments that are available. I ain't covering PayPal in this video, but I will be doing a video very soon. Please feel free to subscribe to see how you can add PayPal payment to your website. So then we'll just click on the arrow on the bottom left and see how it's looking. I think it's looking quite smart. So then click on the arrow. We'll go down, and then what we'll do is we'll finally edit the bottom row. So what we'll do, we'll just hover over it and we'll choose these dots here. So what you've got a visual here, and you've also got a text one. I'm just going to use the visual one. So what we want to say is, well, I want to say, you can tweak it to how you want. There's documentation of this online. You've got copyright, so the copyright in the C. The current year, that'll always update to the current year, so it's future-proofed. And then what I'm going to do on this last bit, I'm just going to say copyright 23 hyphen BAW gadgets. And I want to centralize that, so that's how it looks. And then I'm going to go up, I'm going to go on design, and I'm going to put the font color to just black on all of these, but you can have it whatever color you like. One thing I've realized off camera when I was just having a check is I've accidentally left some hashtags in some of the links. So I'll just quickly go through them, but make sure you do it on your side if you've left the hashtags in. So if we just click on this section here, useful links, and go on about us and click on the pen, I'm just going to get rid of this hashtag, click on it. Same for the contact us. Remove the hashtag so the link works. Same for the products. Click on that. Same for login. And I'm actually going to take it off the end of this one. I'll then click on this section here, customer area. I'll adjust these links, just take the hashtag off. There's no link set for that one. Just take the hashtag off, click on that. And that's it corrected. And now that we've done that, we'll take a look at the footer. So if you click on the arrow on the bottom left, just scroll down a little bit, and there's the footer with all our tweaks. It's looking quite good, I would say. You can obviously change whatever you want on it and make it your own, now that you know how to. So if you click on the arrow on the bottom left, and let's go back and back to go to the main menu. What we're going to do, we're just going to make our way down through some of the sections here. I'm not going to cover all of them, but we're going to go through some of them. So if we go into this general section, you can do all sorts of things, but we're just going to cover the social network accounts. So where we played about with the different social icons, you can put the links to your account in here, and then when somebody clicks on, for example, the Facebook link, it'll take them to that Facebook page. So that's where you edit that section. Again, it's on the main bit in the customizer, general, and then social networks. You've also got an option to scroll to top, so you can put that in if you want, and it gives a scroll to top button, which you can see there. You can also click the arrow to tweak it. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm going to go back at the top and show you some more things. You can play about with a sidebar. I'm not going to cover that just for time. You've got colours. So you've got different colour palettes that are available. So if I just go up to the top and we go on colour palette, you can choose different ones. So we're currently using palette number 7. You can see a tick next to it. But we could choose to change the colours of the site by clicking that. If you just click in the bottom left, you can see it goes from purple to blue. And then things change round on the site. Just click on here. And again, you can change things round. So I'm going to put it back to number 7, but you could change these palettes round. You can also change some of the global colours, like the text colour, links colours, all different types of heading. Then it saves you having to change it right through the site. You can make changes here that will change throughout, so it's really good for saving time. So if we go back, you've got typography where you can see the different fonts. And again, instead of having to change fonts throughout the website, you can just change them in here. We'll cover blog posts. So let's just click on the left arrow there and click on blog. And then if we just click on the arrow there, what we'll do, we'll just look at this blog post section. So currently, we've got it where it shows a grid pattern. You could, for example, click on this one and it'll show it in this format. So it depends what you like, depends what you use. You can use an enhanced grid. You can choose the classic way of showing it. I quite like just the grid option, but have a play about and see how you feel. So underneath you can choose a number of columns and posts. So for example, we're on 3. So if we click on the arrow at the bottom left, we can see the posts there. Click the arrow again and we change it to 2. You can then see the changes reflecting here. I actually think 3 looks best, but you can also choose what you want it to look like on each device. So if we click on card options, you could, for example, turn the featured image off. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. You can also play about with the metadata. So at the minute, you've only got taxonomies turned on, but you could turn, for example, the author on, which is Jonathan, or you could turn it off, however you want to do it. For example, you could turn the title off, you could get rid of the excerpt, which is basically this section. You could get rid of the read more button and leave it like that. It all just depends how you want to do. So you hide the title. You can also choose the gaps between, but I'm not going to cover that. But you can sort of see the general idea. You can choose the card type, so you could go for simple. I quite like boxed. If we go back, you've got other options, but I'm not going to get into them. At the top, you can choose the blog title and things like that. So previously, I'd turned it off from this so it could fit with the heading that I changed it from. So I'm just going to go back to that one. And then For example, under title, you could play about with things like that. At the heading. On design, you could make the title of the page appear by putting it black. So I might just leave it like that. So I've sort of covered the settings of the blog posts. If we click on a single post and we go in, you can tweak how that looks. So if you just click on single post, and if you go on post title, of course you can choose whether you put the title on there or you don't. You can choose to turn the excerpt off. And there's all sorts of different settings to have a play about with that I'm not going to cover now. And then if, for example, you click on the category of useful, you can play about with this and do sort of similar things. So if we go into the title, you could change the type and set it like that. And you can choose to go in, for example, if we go back, you can go down and you can choose how many columns and how many posts, for example, you want to see on the screen. Have a play about with that. That won't change because there wasn't that many useful categories, but have a play about with it. You've got card options, so again, you can choose to do this, but you can also do things like put the title above the post meta. You could put the title at the top if you wanted. I often think the featured image looks best. You could turn the excerpt off, but you can see how you can tweak these. Underneath, you've got things like pages where you can play about with that. You can play about with the different designs. I'm not going to get into that, but feel free to have a play around with it. And then we'll cover the WooCommerce part. So let's just hit publish. And let's go down to, for example, the WooCommerce section. You've got general, which you can have a look through there. I'm not going to cover that now. And then you've got product archives. So if we click on product archives, we click on here and we choose, for example, products. It'll show you three columns of products. So in product archives, you can change the general look of it. So you could change it from this to this. Depends how you like it to look. I think that looks quite good. And then on this section here, number of columns and rows, you could change it from 3 to 2. And there it is on there. For example, you could change it to 4. And if you just go back over here, you can see how it looks. I actually think it looks good with 3. And you can play about with the card options on here also. So feel free to have a play about and see what you think. And then if we click on, for example, this product that we created earlier, so here it is. If we click on single product, we can choose different page structures and we can change colors around and things like that. So feel free to have a look through it. Again, I'm not going to go into massive detail. I just want to show you different things. And next of all, we're going to cover the core section, and that'll be us covered on the customizer. In the core section, here, you should see the option for site identity. We're just going to click on the arrow and we're going to have a look at it. By default, you should have this information here or something that looks like it. The site title is just the name of the website. So we're just going to use the name of this website. The tagline is a short description of the website. If, for example, we have a look at Amazon, you'll see that the site title and the tagline sort of combine to show this top line that creates a clickable link. Some information on the tagline is it should just be a short, brief description. It should contain keywords for SEO, so you might want to look at ways of optimizing it. There's all sorts of SEO tools that you can find to find the best keywords to put in here. You should really list some of your key services or products that you sell. And like I said before, these two get combined together to create a link like that that's clickable. So I've already created a tagline here, which basically takes a lot of the products that are sold on the site, but I would spend a bit of time looking into this and coming up with the best tagline that's good for your website. But I just wanted to show you how you do this. I would spend a lot more time on it if I was you, to make sure you have a site title and a tagline that's optimized for your website, so when people search, your site possibly comes up, but if they search for your site, it looks professional and they're more likely to click on it. We're going to add a site icon by just clicking select site icon, and we're going to click on upload files. We're going to choose select files, and we're going to upload the favicon that I downloaded earlier on. So I'm going to go into the Fiverr Premium Kit favicon, just have a look at the different ones. I'll try this one out, see how it looks. Actually, it'll need to be the WordPress PNG one. So I'll try that out. Click on select. And as you can see, it appears up there. I think what I might do, I might change it. So I'll go and upload files, select files, and I think I'll try this one out. Choose open, choose select. Yeah, as you can see there, the site icon, the favicon, is there, and I think that looks a lot more smarter. So that's the site identity part covered in very, very briefly. You've also got menus. So when you go into menus and say, for example, you click on this one, you can see the menu that's created. So if we just click back, and in here, like I'd shown earlier in the tutorial, you can delete pages. So for example, if you wanted to get rid of the contact us page, you could remove it. But if you want to add it back in, you could click on there. The contact us page goes back in. You can also reorder them by, for example, you could drag that there. You could drag that there. You can also put pages under pages by indenting them, but I'm not going to do that. And you can choose where you want the menus to appear. You can also add posts, products, categories to the menu, but that's kind of what I'm going to cover for now for this tutorial. So if we go back, and we've covered a lot of this, but feel free to have a play about with the customizer and try it out. If you want to go for example, pro features, you can upgrade at any time, and there's a lot more features available in the theme. So I'm going to hit publish, and I'm just going to take a look at the website. So there's it customized using the WordPress customizer. I'll now show you where you can get things like a privacy policy and terms and conditions, cookie consent banner. So there's a link to it in the description, but you can go to nzuzo.com, and under solutions there's different legal policies, for example privacy policy, terms and conditions, return policy, which is really important for an e-commerce website, shipping policy. You can create these for apps, you can create the privacy policy, the terms and conditions and the cookie consent for free, but I would recommend with selling things that you go for a paid plan, and it's really reasonable and it protects you right across the board. So I'll just leave this in the description for you, so you've got the option to add it to your site. It's very, very easy to do, and it's very easy to follow. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to head into the website, and we're going to go into the admin part, and I'm going to just show you how you can clean a few things up, because in this tutorial we uploaded demo content, and at some point you're going to want to add your own products and things like that. So I'll just show you how you can change things around. So for example, if we start up at the top on posts and go to all posts, you can add your own blog posts in, which will replace these, and you can do that by, for example, just going to add new post, and you can also do it at the top. And you can create your own blog posts that you then promote the products and hopefully get organic search so people buy your products. But if you want to clean these up, say for example if you wanted to delete all of them, you don't have to do this right now. Click on this option where it says title, and under bulk actions you can move it to the trash, and then once you hit apply it'll go to the trash folder, and they can also be put back in to the publish one. You can delete them individually by selecting them and putting them in trash. And if we go to, for example, products, where earlier on the video I showed you how to create products, so these two are examples of the ones that we created. If you wanted to delete all products, you can again choose this option and move it to the trash, click apply, and then it's in the trash and can be deleted from there. If you just want to delete, for example, let's take one of the duplicates out, this one, you can tick it and hit trash. So ultimately you can start cleaning up the website. So if we went to the trash folder, you can empty the trash by clicking there, or you can delete them individually by clicking there and deleting it permanently. So I'll just show you how it works. And that's it deleted. And you can do the same for pages and media, where it follows the same sort of idea. So you could clean up some pages that you don't need, but I'm not going to get into that now. One thing to state is currently the site's in test mode on WooCommerce payments. So if you go on WooCommerce and you go to the settings, to be able to start taking live payments on your website, you want to go to the payments tab up at the top, and you want to go down to Stripe and click on manage, and then under the settings part you'll want to untick enable test mode, and then save down at the bottom when you're ready to start taking payments and selling actual products on your website. Until you do that, you won't actually get any real money, it'll just be test transactions going through. So yeah, untick that, and hit Save Changes. One last thing to show you. If you head to WooCommerce and then Orders, you can see orders that have been placed on the website. So if we click on this one, for example, and we scroll down, we can see what's been ordered and what's shipping, and see a breakdown of it. You can change the status of it from processing to on hold, completed, cancelled, refunded. So say for example it's been sent out and received by the customer, you can change it to completed and click update. Once updated, it'll tell you there, and also the status will be completed. You can go back onto the orders screen and you'll see that there's 3 available, there's 2 processing, and there's 1 completed. You can go on to, for example, completed by clicking on there, and you can go in. So to conclude this tutorial, we've created an e-commerce website that you can see here that runs on super fast hosting. We've created the cheapest domain name possible. We've edited the whole site using page builders and the WordPress customizer, so it looks like this. We've added live chats and chat bots. I've shown you how to create products, for example this one, that you can add to the cart. You can view the cart. You can apply a discount code. Which you can see there. It automatically calculates shipping, which I'll show you in the tutorial, and it calculates tax. You can go through and go to the checkout. In the checkout, the customer can enter their information and then they can pay. For example here, I'll show you how to add payment. You can save the cards if they want, and then they can place the order. They'll then receive this, and they'll also receive a receipt via email, and so will the store owner. And then they can use this chatbot to get a discount code, which it will provide. All the links that have been covered in this video are in the description. You can go back through the timestamps and you can watch the video again to work different things out, and you can always go back to different areas. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I've got loads more videos coming. I'm Jonathan from Builderwebs, and thank you for watching this video.